And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It's Chaco and I hanging out. How you been doing this weekend?
Pretty good. Packing. I have a work trip this week, so yeah, getting that stuff ready.
That's never fun.
No. Sometimes it is, but sometimes, yeah.
Going to New York. Are you going to New York? I was going to say, where you going?
Yeah, just outside of New York City, and then going to be meeting some people in New York City.
Okay.
Work people. So.
Work people. Okay. I've never been there before. I've always thought about checking it out sooner or later. Just to see what it's about. Travel every else, so wouldn't mind seeing that place.
Sure.
Have you been there before?
Yeah, I've been almost everywhere. I've been traveling for so many years. So it's there are very few. There's that Johnny Cash song about I've been everywhere, and I'm like, yep, I've been to that place and that place because he just listened to. Been to Tugendar, Texarkana, that. I'm like, yeah, I've been to all those places. Well, not all, but a lot of them.
Right. But our guest tonight, you can add to it, Mike, if you want to, but Jason is aka our archivist. I should ask him, is it archivist or archivist?
I looked this up because Steven corrected me on a stream yesterday saying archivist. Both are correct. So if you look in the definition, it's the first and preferred is archivist. Second is archivist. So either is correct, but you can look in the dictionary. I had to look that up because I was using archivist and I didn't know. I was like, wow, maybe I've been saying the wrong thing the entire time.
I kind of like archivist better. I think I like that.
They're both
the sound of that. Yeah,
both interchangeable. Turns out.
So. But Archivist Adrift, you see him in the chats. He's been very active in the chats and on different people's streams and watches people's videos. And besides that, he's if you haven't checked him out yet, check out his videos on his restoration. It's very interesting. I had kind of had an idea of what that people do and stuff, but I started watching some of his videos, and it's really, really cool. It's like I said, very interesting. Have you watched any of them?
Yes, yeah. I really like. Well, I like watching all of those. I like watching. Like I see, Impressed is in the Impressed is in the chat, and of course our buddy Johnny, doing the comic pressing and I like a lot of those videos. Jerry the Jitterbug, of course. I think all of us watch Jerry. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that's what really turned me on to that. So, well, further ado, let's bring out Archivist Adrift.
Hi there.
Hey, man, how you doing, buddy?
Terrific. You can go Archivist or Archivist. I do both as well, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's like people ask about calling in day-to-day life Mike or Michael, and I'm like I played hockey, and I respond to much worse, and it turns out now I respond to Chaco. So, those are. But yeah, thanks for doing this. We're excited to have you on. We it's I think it's something that everybody's kind of fascinated with, but like terrified of doing is the restoration or what is your preferred term for is it conservation? Conservation.
And I can do that a little bit into the show, but I think conservation is what I would really go with. Mm-hmm.
Now, do you consider there to be a difference between conservation and restoration?
Yeah, conservation is almost kind of like a subcategory of restoration, I would say. But in the conservation circles, they're really very distinct practices. Okay. And when we get into that, I can actually kind of like read a definition from like the actual guide on this between what the differences between the two are.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we should
say hi to the chat.
Real quick.
Yeah, let's say hi to the chat real quick before we get started. And let's see. Derek, he was first.
Yo, Derek.
Hey, Derek.
We got Impressed.
There's Impressed.
Hey, Matt. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
And then Mark with issues. Archie, hey, buddy.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
And old Big Matt. Mike's
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, the one and only Matt.
The only one, the one and only Steppo.
Steven.
The great and powerful Steven.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I've got a surprise. I've got a Steven surprise to show later.
Hey, Dylan.
Right. Sales boy?
Yeah. He's also a conservationist. So.
Oh, is he? Okay, yeah. He commented on one of my videos earlier.
Yeah, he just subbed, I think.
We're working on starting the Conservaverse, so we'll see how it works.
Oh, cool. And then
hey, Mike.
Hey,
Night Tiger Comics.
Yeah, welcome.
Night Tiger Comics. Yeah.
I watch Night Tiger's channel sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you got Don Carter. Hey, Don.
He's another conservator.
Hi, Don. Welcome.
And some sequential artifacts by Robert A. Emmons.
Professor
Jr.
Robert Evans. Yeah, he's a documentarian.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like a name that conserves.
Yeah, that sounds like a professor.
Amazing channel. Check it out.
That's awesome. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, we got the CBD. Great and powerful. And that's pretty much it right now. So that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome. Yeah, welcome. Glad everybody's here. Oh, there's
Nate.
Hey, Nate.
Nate, who went viral this week. I don't know if everybody saw. He had a short that went over 100,000 views.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's awesome.
Congrats to Nate. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But so normally the way we start is we have kind of the stock first couple of questions. It's how did you get into comics, collecting comics, and when, and then how did you get into YouTube? What made you decide to start a channel?
Yeah. So well, I guess like everyone, early on I got into like the cartoons and the movies. I was born in '75 here in Ohio, but I was into the Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno, Hulk show. I was into Spider-Man Has Amazing Friends, the Superman movies, the Secret Wars toys, all that kind of stuff. But I think my mom probably bought me some comics at some point. I think I did have a couple like Web of Spider-Man comics or something like that, but it didn't really click over until we moved to Rhode Island, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and every year we would visit a family back home in Ohio and in near Fort Wayne, Indiana. And my cousins who lived near the farm in Fort Wayne, or near Fort Wayne, they had long boxes of, like Claremont, Byrne, X-Men.
Sweet.
The Walt Simonson Thor, the Excalibur, X Factor, all that good stuff. And I was just like fascinated by it. My brother not so much, but I was like, wow, this is really amazing. And so that kind of, I got the bug. And then right around that time, this was probably, again, like late 80s, 88, 87, something like that. Not too long after the whole, Liefeld and McFarlane and Sam Keith and all those guys were getting crazy, and it's like, what is going on here, and then realizing, oh wait, these might be worth money too. Like this is like, frosting on the cake, So it was so I kind of really got into it that way, and then eventually our family moved to Ohio, and the local comic book shop, I'd always like draw up art for them, and I had my pull list and all that kind of stuff. And I collected for a number of years, mainly Spider-Man. I kind of collected up into the Straczynski run, I think. And then by the time I got into the military, which was in the late 90s, I was kind of like, comics, they just weren't very well written, I guess, and I think all of us kind of collapsed. A lot of us, right? A lot of us kind of fell out of comics or out of love with comics at around that time thing, and
right,
and so I just was like, I'd been hauling these like long boxes with me everywhere I'd go. I'd travel, or I'd go. If I was going overseas, I was stationed in Germany for a bit. The long boxes came with me or whatever. And then eventually, right before COVID, I was like, I'm not into comics anymore. I'm just gonna get rid of my collection. I took them over to Goodwill, got rid of all the long boxes, and I kept a few things that I wanted to hold on to, but I don't know, I just wasn't into it. And then COVID hit, and I was kind of, and I was right before COVID hit. Actually, I was moving into this house, and I was looking at some of the prices of some of the comics that I had kind of held back on. I'm like, these are pretty, it might be worth something. And then during COVID, I think I got furloughed, and then I just kind of got into the collecting bug again. I think a lot of people did, and I grabbed silvers. I started getting the Silver Age comics, and that was a bad time to get into Silver Age comics.
Really bad for everyone, but I think everyone had similar stories. I mean, I started to get the bug again right around then.
Yeah, and so then I had always been into like restoration stuff. I'd been checking out like there's a YouTube channel called Baumgartner Restoration who does like restoration of oil paintings and things like that.
And cool.
Yeah, and it just completely fascinated me. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And my dad's an artist, so I kind of like and I doodled a little bit. I wanted to go to art school for a little bit as well, and that never happened. So during furlough. So then I think I hit upon like I think Kenny Sanders or not Jerry the Jitterbugs channel, and
I think we all love Jerry.
And I'm like, wow, this is like my two worlds like combined. This is like comics and restoration combined, and I'm like, and he's just doing things that just seemed impossible to me. Like he's healing paper, like how do you do that? That's insane, And
it's so wild to watch. All you guys, it's wild to me to see. I'm always like, no, please don't do that.
It's so fascinating. It's scary. It very is. I mean, I'm still scared when I do it, but so when so I saw his channel and I'm like, this is unbelievable. And then I kind of fell down the well. There was Dr. Paul Kosnick's channel, Liberty Hill Comics. There is Captain Larry's channel on Flying L Comics.
I watched Captain Larry's channel.
Yeah, all these guys were doing amazing stuff, and I'm like, maybe I can do this. Let me see what I can do. And so I kind of slid into it that way. Just feeling, wondering if I could just, slowly, over time, you pick up the skills as you go along. And
now, about what year was this as you started to get interested in restoration and conservation?
Yeah, this would have been after COVID. It would have been about a year and a half ago. Not that long. I mean, I've been watching Jerry's channel for a couple of years at that point, or for about a year at that point. Just wondering if I could do it. Also, he really kind of extolled, or just kind of got into my mind that mortals could buy Golden Age comics, and that was like, wait, I can buy a Golden Age comic? Normal people can do that? And so I was like, okay, so they don't have to be perfect. They just, you just start, and so I was, I started picking up the Golden Age stuff, and so then I found Dr. Paul's, he's got a Facebook page for conservers, and so I kind of got into all that crowd, and then I decided, well, I could, I think I could do a YouTube. I mean, I've had a YouTube channel since 2006, but it was mainly like, just like concert footage and just day-to-day kind of things.
Vlog style, yeah, like vlog
Yeah,
style.
yeah. I was really into like binaural audio for a bit, where you would put on like headphones, and like that's why I would go to concerts and I tried to like record them in binaural, so you could like hear the crowds from one side and the band from the other side and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I decided, well, let me just transition. Oh, and I was also into film, and I was kind of uploading really hard to find like Indian movies and Israeli films and things like that. And that got my subscriber base somehow. But so if you see my subscriber base, it says like I have 1,300 subscribers. Like 1,000 of that is from like movies and things like that. So
still counts. It all counts.
Yeah, well, kinda, yeah. So yeah, then from there I decided, I decided to just kind of push ahead and get into comic book conservation.
I don't know about Rich, but I had a lot of questions focused around conservation, restoration, which I know you started to get into it a little bit, but I don't want to ruffle feathers specifically, out of my own ignorance of the conservation community. But so like, you started to go into just the difference between conservation and restoration, and maybe can you talk just a little bit about degrees thereof, like what like when we talk about something, like are there certain things within the conservation community that are like considered acceptable, and certain things that would be considered less acceptable?
Yeah. So I don't know how absolute this is, but in my mind, there are 3 or 4 different actual fields in this whole entire like world of. So you have your cleaners and pressers, and they do stuff I can't touch, because they're doing things with I would say like silver and up mostly, and they do hit golden as well, but they are like perfectionists. They're taking every little flaw out of a comic, and they're seeing things that are microscopic. It's amazing what they're able to find, and that's a whole art to itself. And then there's restorationists who actually let me just read the definition for you.
Sure,
this is Dr. Shelby Thompson and Dr. Paul Kosnick's book on basically conservation.
That's the one they kickstarted, right? Is that the Kickstarter one?
Yeah. So this funny story about that. I was kind of new to the forum, the Facebook group, and I was just trying to leech all this knowledge I could from everyone I could, So I wrote up like a long post of like all the things like I had been like learning from all these YouTube channels and things like that, and I posted it on the Facebook group. And Dr. Paul was like, "This is great, Shelby. Could you maybe like kind of like type this up and make it a little bit more formal, and add your knowledge to it, and then put it into like the file section of the group? That way, we all have something to kind of like a resource to pull from."
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
and so Shelby was like working on this, and he's like, "Oh man, I got a lot of stuff here." So he goes back to Dr. Paul and is like, "What do you think? What do you think? I mean, I got a lot of stuff here." And Dr. Paul's like, "I think we got a book. I think we got a book." So they talked to a number of other professionals, and they've got I think the forwards by Matt Nelson. They got stuff from Kenny in here, and a bunch of other conservationists and whatnot. So, but yeah, let me. So I guess I had a little. I'm happy that I had a little like effect on all that, and it was great. So they say, okay, restoration versus conservation. Restoration aims to return a comic book to a condition that resembles its original state, often using methods that can alter the original book, such as color touch-ups or paper repairs, and even piece fills. The focus is on aesthetic improvement and increasing the comic's eye appeal and market value. Whereas conservation, on the other hand, prioritizes preserving the comic's integrity and historical value without making significant alterations. Techniques used in conservation use only archival materials and methods, and retain, where possible, the original materials of manufacture while enhancing stability and appearance. Conservation techniques are also generally reversible and are more visually apparent than restoration, allowing casual observers to detect conservation work more readily than restoration.
So now, do those distinctions, like if you're considering like a for a label on a slab book, like where you have purple label versus gray, now does that correspond?
Silver.
Or silver? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it does. I think sometimes it should. Matt Nelson, the president of CGC, was himself a restoration / conservationist with Andy Sanders.
I didn't know that. I knew he did pressing and stuff. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they invented leaf casting, which I'll get into in a second here. But they didn't invent leaf casting. They brought leaf casting into a popular kind of mode for comic books because
can you define leaf casting for those of us who are kind of neophytes to this?
Yeah, for us novice.
Leaf casting is essentially where you're taking like a pulp slurry and you're applying it to voids in comic book wraps or the cover or whatnot to essentially not kind of add paper back, but really to build back the structure of the book so it doesn't fall apart on you as you're reading it or looking at it. So because it's very observant, it's very apparent that what it is what it is. You're not trying to hide the fact that in fact, if you hold up any let me see if I don't have anything right now, but if you hold up a wrap that's been leaf cast, you can usually tell because it's the light passes through it a little bit differently. And generally if you can, it's not required, but if you can, you want to kind of match the color of the paper that you're working on to some extent, especially like within your wraps. So that's what leaf casting is in a nutshell. Now, leaf casting is not considered restoration; it's considered conservation. So when CGC gives a purple label, they're essentially giving purple labels to that. Well, they rank the type of restoration. There are some great restorationists out there. They're not just it's not just kids taking a marker and kind of coloring.
Con artists,
Susan Ciccone, I think that's her last name. She's considered one of the great restorationists. Like she makes books look like they came right off the press, and I think kind of the upside and the downside to the graded comic book world was this idea that restored comics and then also conserved comics by attachment, I guess, were somehow lesser. But for years people would buy or have their books are restored. They would actually, I want the Superman, one to look like a like a or something that doesn't
preserve
like
it to preserve a comic that's precious. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but JSS would like you to hold up the book again. I think he'd like to link it so people can see. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get it off of Amazon.
That's a big thick sucker, ain't it? Is it thick?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Big?
Oh yeah. And they're working on more volumes as well. So this is just the start of it. Yeah.
Sorry, it's important that give them credit. Give them hopefully some sales.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting book to read.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is actually. I mean, it's very colorful. I mean, I'm sure you can make this out, but it looks gorgeous.
Oh wow! Yeah, cool. The picture guides.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Wow, that's really cool.
Sweet. Where was I at? So conservation. One of the restoration, of course, gets like the really bad name, kind of, But conservation, I think, I feel like people are coming around to it, and that I think that's partly because of channels like Jerry the Jitterbugs, but also because of Alan's channel.
Yes.
He doesn't allow the restoration or conservation to really affect his mood about comics, and I think that's a positive attitude to have. I mean, it's good to know what you're getting, but conservation, one of the things about conservation is these books are not going to survive forever, and eventually every book's going to have to be conserved, at some point in its life. Conservation also does a thing where part of what we do in conservation is we de-acidify the wraps. So most of the paper the process of making paper just acidifies over time, and that's what makes it fall. It gets brittle, falls apart, all that kind of thing, and it ages. Part of the conservation process is we do something called an aqueous bath or aqueous bath, and we add a base, an alkaline reserve in the comic.
This is your most recent video. This is what you were doing.
Yeah,
that's right.
Very interesting stuff.
And that neutralizes the acids in the paper, and because it has a reserve of that base or that alkaline in the paper, it actually preserves it over time. So it stops. In a sense, it stops the acidification. And so in a sense, you could have two slabs. You could have a universal, and you could have a conserved book side by side, same age, and that universal may rot in the slab where the conserved book may continue on for another 100 years.
Yeah.
It's such great stuff, and I mean, I know both Alan and Stephen have made this point multiple times about preserving the history, and that these books are important, specifically these Golden Age books that have been around for so long, and there are so few of them, and they're so precious that sometimes this is the only way that book's going to remain around for hopefully more generations to enjoy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep, that's right.
Now, I do have a question about, again, levels of I'm going to use the term restoration, and correct me if I'm incorrectly using it, but like for me, I have no problem with a purple label at all, or a silver label. That's like it's as JSS said in the chat, and I think we've all said, you buy the book, not the grade, or I'll buy the book and not even the label. But I do where I do have my own line is trimmed books. That I to me, a trimmed book sometimes is like somebody trying to pull one over on somebody. Like it wasn't. It's not really necessarily. It's not preserving the book as much as it is trying to create an appearance that it's better than it actually is.
Yeah, I think that was the impetus for trimming books originally. And generally speaking, a trimmed book is going to get you a restored grade anyhow. There are some people who are still doing trimming, like Mike at Night Tiger Comics occasionally, but he's going with his own books, knowing that he wants to keep the books the way that he wants to keep them,
Oh, your own book, do whatever you want.
Exactly. But there is a way to conserve trimmed books, and basically that involves leaf casting once again. So now CGC has rules about how much can be trimmed. So for instance, you can't, I believe that they will give you a purple label if both the full interior wraps and also the cover are trimmed. However, if you were to marry a book that had like say a trimmed cover to full wraps, and you were able to leaf cast that cover, they would consider that a conserved book, and they would give you a silver label for that.
Huh.
Yeah. And and so and possibly the other way around too. So you could probably have a trimmed interior and marry it to a full cover wrap, and that would be considered kosher.
Interesting.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from with trim books as well, but I have some trim books, and I feel like if I can get those suckers into a conserved slab, I'm going to try that. But no, I totally get the feeling about like I have this is a good example of what I have here. Yeah, I got this poor Thunder, and it's heavily trimmed, and it was also missing a cover. I found a cover for it from a not very expensive comic.
Wow.
But I don't know if I want to rip this apart or not and use the cover for this much more special book. So I don't know.
Now, another question, and one that I think is really interesting to a lot of people, again, because and specifically to me, detecting restoration or conservation on raw books when you're buying them. Again, like I'm okay with it, but still, I mean, there is a difference in value. Now detecting color touch, is it specifically only like bleed through on the back that you're looking for?
Yeah, that's a good way. But using UV light would be a really good way as well. Generally, you can pick it up if you use a UV light.
It shows a lot. It generally shows a lot, doesn't it?
I've got one right here for it.
Perfect. That's awesome. Change your battery in it often though, because it sucks it down fast.
And then I know Stephen has talked about this in the past, but and I don't completely remember detecting trimming, especially if it's very, very slight. There's a way to hold the book. I've heard. Yeah,
trimming typically has there's a roughness to it, and I personally can't see it. I don't know if I don't have the eye for it, or if you just need it on the right magnification. I'm obviously CGC can pick it up, and other grading companies can, but yeah, that's something that's I think one of the fears for some conservationists is that they do all this work to a book and then they submit it to CGC to get graded to see if they get a conservative label, and it comes back restored, and they're like, "What happened? Oh, it's been trimmed. I didn't know that." Or whatever. Yeah.
Well, generally, on an older book like that, wouldn't you? I would think that something would throw up red flags to show that it's been trimmed, since it's an older book. If it's got a crisp, pretty edge on it, I'd be kind of concerned, being like, "Well, isn't that trimmed?" Or, I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious.
The problem with a lot of the Golden Age books is that they were miscut so often, so it's hard to really figure out. And that's the other thing about conservation. I don't know if this is not. It's a lot of conservationists will work with like silver and down. But mostly in Golden Age, and that's because Golden Age books are first of all they don't have to be perfect. You're talking like copper and or bronze and up. You're looking at books that have to be like 9.8, so across the board just about. But not always, but there's a sort of a perfectionist mentality about it. Whereas silver and down and gold specifically, they can be in a rough condition, and you can get away with, and they still hold their value, obviously, because there's so far fewer of them. And also they handle a punishment a lot easier. They really piled on the ink on these books, so you can put them in an aqueous bath and not worry about all the ink running off of them, though that still does happen occasionally. And the paper just feels thicker, like silver and later books, especially in the 70s and late 60s and whatnot. They're almost like tissue paper, but yeah, with this book, I mean, you can tell it's been trimmed because it's clearly cutting off most of the face over here, and it's cutting off the bottom quite a bit. And you're just comparing it to comics that you on eBay.
Well, that is a good point that you made, saying that a lot of them were so miscut anyhow, so it makes it hard to detect. So I didn't think about that. So yeah, that makes sense.
Stephen is talking about the technique that I was mentioning. I don't know if you can
hold the book up on the end.
Show that.
Yeah.
It's lower because they had more to get around. Perfectly flat appearance. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's shown this before, and I had forgotten what he mentioned. That's
great. To be clear, I'm not an expert at any way. I feel like my YouTube channel is really about taking the guy who doesn't know kind of what he's doing and then throwing him in and saying, look, I'm just a normal guy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not an expert. I didn't go to school for this. I don't, I haven't been doing this for years. And they all start that way, but after a while they start.
You got to start somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I think it's really fascinating. To see your perspective specifically, because you've mentioned that, that you're not an expert and some of it is trial and error.
You're trying it out. Yeah.
As someone mentioned that you show your successes and your failures. I think that's
right.
It's like, going along with you, we learn along with you.
Right.
And that's what I really love about all the conservation channels. There's we're all kind of a tightly knit group, and they all have kind of their own like thing that they're doing. So they're all, it's not like there's a number of YouTube channels that all kind of copying one another, but the conservation group, they all seem to have a special deal. So you'll have, for instance, Sales by Comics, who's more kind of into the humor aspect of just kind of not taking himself too seriously and just getting into it, which is really awesome. And then Dr. Paul, who's much more instructional, and then Professor Peter Alachi, who's literally experimenting with new chemicals and new ideas, and of course
Phantom?
Phantom. Phantom. So now Phil from Phantom Restoration, unfortunately he doesn't have a YouTube channel yet. Is mostly his work is coming through Instagram, but
he does show up on Dr. Larry. I've only seen him there, and I've heard about his work just from other people who've used him who swear by him.
Yeah, Dr. Paul and Larry have a live show with him every Sunday at 8:35, and it's a great resource. But yeah, Phil shows up on that, and yeah, he's a professional. And he's a professional. At this point, I'd consider Jerry a professional. I mean, and of course, Jerry brings his whole own flavor. I mean, you watch his videos, so he has his whole own flavor too. I mean, I'd watch his stuff even if it wasn't conservation stuff. So
right. I don't know how I happened on his channel, but yeah, it was another one where I started watching and right away he was doing stuff that I was like, oh my God, he's going to put that in that. He's going to put that in in fluid. I was like, that's crazy to me. And yeah. I mean, just to see what happens and how they're able to bring these old books back to multiple levels above where they used to be. It's fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, putting any kind of book in water is freaky, and it still freaks me. Yeah, it totally is. But these books were made in water. I mean, the paper was it was pulp. It was liquid pulp when it started. So it's just going back to where it was. It's the inks that you have to really worry about. But the inks were water as well. Yeah, it's still scary, and I think early on people were throwing their books into 30-minute baths and things like that. I do no longer than 3 minute, 2-3 minute baths at the most. And as soon as I see ink bleed or anything like that, I'm pulling out. I don't always catch it, unfortunately, but I think I got a good. I'm doing pretty well. Yeah.
Okay. How do you dry afterward? Is it just air dried?
It's usually dry. Well, there's a few different ways to dry it, but the main way is doing what's called a cold press, which is essentially you're just putting it under two flat surfaces and then putting a weight on top of it. So for me, I'm doing the Jerry method, which is basically a piece of shelving and then on top of some laminate, and then I'm just putting a 20-pound weight on top of that.
You put paper towels with them or anything, or
yes, paper towels. So when we're working on these wraps, we're not usually working with the wraps raw by themselves. They're usually sandwiched between a couple of layers of thin interwoven fabric. Let me show you what that looks like.
Okay.
This interwoven fabric, and it allows water to pass through, but it kind of holds everything together so that you can put the wraps on top of it and or sandwich between, and kind of move it around and not worry about it all, falling apart on you. And then you'll usually put like a paper towel on the bottom and then a paper towel on the top, and then put it in that sort of the dry kind of cold press, and put some weight on it. Other ways, of course, are you can get a copy press or an old
like screw down press or something.
Like your old submarine kind of wheel looking thing, and really squeeze on that sucker and let it sit there for a while, and it'll dry that way as well.
AG just had a question, and I think you talked about this in your most recent video, so it's kind of appropriate for now. But he's talking about if you could read it here.
Brittle pages can be effectively deacidified and become more supple when becoming obviously. Yes. I mean, you can only bring it back so much, but in my latest video, I think I showed some methods where you can add things like glycerin, betaine, and methylcellulose, and even just the process of leaf casting itself, it all adds more structure to those brittle pages. And I don't know. I think that's. I can tell you for sure that the wraps I've worked with are much more supple, much stronger, and I will be able to read it as a comic. Whereas previously, I was gingerly pulling it out of the case and just hoping the whole thing didn't just turn into ash. So yeah.
And do you do multiple soaks, or is it just one and that's going to be enough?
I usually do two. One is sometimes got something called it has like a surfactant, which could be like Dawn dish soap, or I use something called Triton X, which is kind of like a laboratory version of a surfactant, just to kind of get all the deep dirt out of the book. But then I want to wash away that surfactant as well, and so I'll usually do a second bath just for to get rid of that as well. And also, you can tell as the acids are kind of leaching out of the paper when you're doing these baths. You'll see a lot of these conservationists will hold the the jar of the bath water, and the darker you kind of want it to get lighter and lighter as you go on to just get all that acid out of the book. And so you may do more than 2 baths, as many as you feel comfortable with before you get to the point where you're like, okay, this is good.
Now, as we were talking about, you do show your successes and your failures. Can you talk about so far your greatest success and maybe the worst experience you've had so far?
My greatest success is an Exciting Comics, where this thing was ratted up. It was just blown apart. Thankfully, it didn't have a lot of tape, because tape adds just layers of complication. It went from what looked like maybe a 0.5 or maybe a 1, kind of very disheveled, just a mess, into something I'm really proud of. I mean, it looks really. Unfortunately, I don't have it because I sent away a bunch of books to CGC to be graded. So we'll see whether or not I really do cherish what I did to that. But it went from something you could not read. It wasn't brittle, but it was not cohesive. You could not read it. It was falling apart completely, and I could flip through it. I mean, it felt substantial. It felt nice. My greatest disaster, probably my. Early on, especially when I working on some Silver Age books, where the ink starts running from the cover, and for instance, lately I had an issue with my Conan 1. I had a Conan 1 where I love that book, man. I'm a big Barry Windsor Smith fan, and
you're talking Rich's language right now.
Yeah, there you go, man. And I bought it at the height of COVID. Bad time to buy that Conan 1, and in fact, it was just recently I was going to like, oh, you know what? All I want to do is give it a little press. I'm going to send it over to get graded at CGC. Oh, I see a little bit of foxing over here. Foxing is this sort of like if you don't know, it's this sort of like kind of like a dotting or whatever that I don't think anyone really knows exactly what boxing is, but it's like a. But anyways, it had some stains on it, and I was like, I might be able to pull these off, and so I kind of got a little too close to the sun with that, and it basically I didn't realize how fragile the spine on those books were, and I popped the staple and I tried to fix that, and it just became like this comedy of mistakes. Like I'm trying to fix one thing, and then the next thing falls apart. Like no, what's going on here?
But you learn.
So, yeah, I definitely learned. I'm not touching Conan's anymore. Now, yeah, I'm going to take kid gloves. But again, a professional presser, the guys who are doing the cleaning and pressing stuff, that circle, that world, they could have looked at that book and said, no, you don't want to do that, because again, they're looking at it from it's a whole different world of perfectionism, and I think that they would have. It's something I like I said, there's a crossover between the two crowds, and it's something I'm really trying to hone in on myself, and I'd like to learn more of their world. And I'm sure they will like to learn more of our world as well. So
we have a couple of really great ones in the chat. Impressed is in here, and Johnny are both in here. Absolutely, you guys, and with the conservation guys, hopefully you can all connect and network a little bit.
Yeah.
AG had another question. Maybe we'll do AG's question, and if Rich has any, then you can start showing books.
Sure. In the world of skilled restorers, which skills are reserved for the highest experts and hard to learn? Well, I think that would go back to leaf casting. So there are different ways to leaf cast, which is, again, applying that pulp slurry to these voids and these covers and wraps. And so you can spot cast with like a pipette, or I can't find my pipette. But anyways, with like a pipette, or so, and that's just like on a drawing table. The next level would be incorporating a vacuum table, which I have and demonstrated in a couple of my videos. But you're just having this vacuum that's kind of pulling down on the slurry to kind of fill the voids a lot more evenly, and so that you get more of when it's all done and pressed, it feels kind of glass smooth. And then the creme de creme, the top is an immersion tank, which is what Kenny Sanderson does, where he is essentially pouring the slurry into a water tank, and then as he's allowing gravity to kind of fill the voids as he's pulling the wrap up, and it just but it's magic. If you ever check out his Instagram account,
it sounds risky to me.
Yeah,
it's literally magic. It's like I don't understand what's going on here. That would be like the top of the top of my book.
Okay.
Wow, man! When you're doing the leaf casting and stuff, how do you know like where to start? Really, I mean, because and what is the actual chemical mix? Is it just the pulp slurry, or is there a certain mix that you have to do?
So
and does it matter which book you're doing it with? Is it the same for every book you do it, or is it different?
I would say I think it's the same for every book. I mean, as far as I can tell, basically you're using paper fiber. So that could be cotton linters or abaca or cardstock, or Jerry the Jitterbug has used just even old comics and or old pulps or whatever. Generally, you don't want to use that kind of old stuff because it's got a lot of acids still, in it. You want an acid-free pulp or substrate first, and then you just blend it up in a regular blender with water, and then I add something called formation aid, which allows the fibers to kind of loosen up. And so when you're laying it down onto the voids, it's just it's spreading out and not kind of all clumping together. So yeah, there's not a whole lot. It's actually pretty basic.
Okay.
And then it's just drying, and it adheres.
Yep. Yeah. Now it basically forms a bond with the existing paper as it dries. I personally like to throw in a little methyl cellulose, which is a kind of like it's an organic. Oh man, I can't remember what it's called, but essentially, it's like a plant-based uh, uh, cellulose that they put in like food. Like they put it in cooking products. It's made off of wood pulp, and it's suspended in like a liquid like water, and when you apply it to comics, it absorbs into the fibers of the paper there and really strengthens the bonds. At least that's what I've found. Now, if you want all the technical know-how on this stuff, you want to check out Professor Peter Lachey's. He's a microbiologist, so he knows what's kind of going down like on a micro level. I'm just some dude. Don't listen to me.
No, it's all fascinating. You're obviously,
no doubt, man.
I know you. I know you're very self-deprecating, but you obviously have studied this a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's fascinating. I mean, like again, you're healing comics. How is that possible? So right. I just that's what draws me to doing these videos too. Is just I love doing this. This is so fun. It's really exciting, and there's a lot of heartache when things don't go right, and I'm constantly catching my breath. But when it comes out right, you're like, wow, I can't believe I did that.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I know you brought some books. Would you like to share some books with us?
Yeah, like always, I generally ask our guests to bring books that mean the most to them, not monetary value, but the personal value. So,
I'll sort of bring about 5 books. I brought a couple more, but not many, because they kind of group together a little bit. But we got, of course, Spider-Man 1, which when I was getting when this came out, when you're flipping through these pages and you're looking at this McFarlane art, you're just like, I remember sitting there and rereading this and rereading it, and then I collected the next 13 issues or whatever he did before. Before he left, and
counting spiders on the cover.
Exactly. I remember him getting so much grief in the comments because they were like, maybe you should just do the art and let someone else handle the story. And probably older Jason, looking back on this, would have been like, yeah, he probably should have just stuck with the art. But this 16-year-old Jason, 15-year-old Jason, whatever he was enamored by this. But around the same time, Wizard 1 had come out, and I had to. Wizard 1 came out, and they were like, they had a little section in the Wizard books back in the day where they were like, these are key books that you may want to spec on. I mean, they didn't use the word spec at the time, but that you might want to grab because they'll eventually become worth something. One of them was when Archangel lost his wings in the X Factor book. I have that upstairs, but the couple of the books were, of course, the Black. Cosmo, so I had to grab those. So I bought these for $1 each at my local comic book shop, and I still have them.
Wow. Yes, I have my childhood copy of the Secret Wars 8. I sent it in to get a great. I sent it off to get it pressed at Palm Beach Presser, pressed it, and I got a 9.8 on my childhood copy that I had all these years.
Gosh, that's awesome. This came back. I got this pressed during COVID. It came back a 6.0. I'm like, this is not a 6.0. What the heck? So I pulled it out of the case and I pressed it, and I don't know what it's definitely not a 6.0. It's like it's an 8 or something.
Johnny's offering you $2.
Yeah, I'll give you $2 for right now.
Yeah, we'll think about it. We'll talk about it later. And then, so then, like I said, Jerry got me fascinated with Golden Age, and I didn't want to just grab any Golden Age. I really loved the essence of the EC weird books, the weird science stuff, the weird fantasy stuff. So the first Golden Age book I ever bought is this Weird Science.
Nice.
And I remember holding it to Wally Wood. I remember just like I still do. I'm like just like looking at it, like I can't believe I own this. Like I can't believe I own this is a 70-year-old book, 50, 60, and I can own this. This is amazing, and I still feel that way. And then the artwork and the interior is amazing. The stories are great. I just great series. So I'm trying.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was going to say, so I'm trying to collect the weird science, weird fantasy, all the books if I can, So yeah.
I was just going to say, as you're saying that, like that's how I felt watching Alan's channel, and he would say, "Yeah, I got this for $200," and I'd be like, "I've got $200. I can," and I started to dabble in Golden Age, and eventually that's why I started a channel. Exactly what you're saying.
Exactly. That's awesome. That's so cool. And then the next big thing I had to grab was, so I wanted to get Alex Schomburg work, everyone does, but it just seems so far away, like he's way over there and all these timely books, and I can't afford that. But I really got into Nidor, the standard Ned Pines books, which is where Black Terror and the Fighting Yank and all those guys came from. And I started collecting those books, and I just got really enamored with the Black Terror. And I'm like, here's a character who is, and he keeps on popping up. Like he popped up in the 80s. People were doing these, he's in the public domain now, but in the 80s, people were doing books on Alex Ross did some books with him. Who else? He just keeps on coming up, and I'm like, man. And so I started collecting Exciting Comics and Black Terror comics, the cheaper stuff I could afford. And then eventually I just was like, this came up on Heritage, and I was like, I gotta go for this. So I got Exciting Comics. This is number 9, which is the first appearance of the Black Terror. So,
wow,
nice.
That's cool.
Really, yeah. I was like,
I'm the same way. Alan and Steppo, they've always been showing Black Terror, and I'm enamored by it. I'm just like, man, I'd love to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also he's such a cool.
Hard to get.
Well, you can always get the newer stuff first. Start there with Project Superpowers and stuff like that. But they're obtainable. You can get the Black Terror books, for under $100 if you keep an eye out.
Show that one again, man. I love that one.
Yeah. And then I also got Black Terror number 1 as well, so I had to go out that as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's missing an interior, which I'm looking for. So and then eventually one day an opportunity arose, and I was able to get an Alex Schomburg, and
I just saw it.
But yeah, I was able to get a timely, and so it's restored.
Nice.
But
that's a spicy sausage right there. Yeah, what's the year?
Sweet. It is 1944. Wow. And these are Japanese spies breaking into a bank, and of course there's just all this weird detail. And Schomburg, more so on his timely books, he was really just packing every cover with as much detail as he possibly could. And
that's beautiful.
That's gorgeous, man.
It's restored, but it's got a little bit of color touch.
Yeah, who gives a shit? It's awesome.
Yeah. So I could conserve this.
That's a beautiful.
Honestly, I don't. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. So I'm gonna leave it alone. And then just a recent pickup that I really, really like. This is before the dopey Bucktooth Redhead got into the books, but this is Comics number 15.
Oh yeah.
And just really, this is the American Shield, fighting off. I like this character back here. She kind of looks like, I think her name is Madam Satan, but she looks like Phantomot, who is another the first female superheroine. So
Red Dress in Distress.
Yeah.
Bondage and red dress in distress. Couple tropes right away, and then obviously the shield, who led to Captain America having a round shield instead of the
That's right.
Yeah.
And then the goofy redheaded bucktooth guy that I'm talking about is Archie, of course, who took over this great book and then ruined it for ages. But I have another Shield book, so I have a couple. So I got this Shield book here, Shield Wizard book, and yeah, this was missing an interior, so I found the interior for it, and I will be marrying it to this book. And yeah, so those are fun, a little over $5.
Yeah. Really cool. Excellent stuff. Yeah. Those are all really fun. Nice. Especially that Marvel, man. Boy, that is I love John Berg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. I mean, I love LB Cole as well. So I got a lot of Cole, or not a lot, but I have some LB Cole as well. And I think I have maybe one Matt Baker book, but Schomburg is really where it's at. Yeah. And I love Lou Fine. So I was able to score a bound volume that I had kind of a plan in my head to take this bound volume of early Fox books and kind of like conserve them or do something with them. So I have Weird Comics #1 and some old early Lou Fine stuff that I really love.
Really nice.
Cool.
So normally we open it up now to other people. I mean, if you want to hang out, we normally we'll have some other buddies join in. I think Rich mentioned we have more spots than 6 today, right, Rich?
Yeah. I went ahead and
upgraded the account there.
Yeah, I did. They were having their little summer sale or whatever, so it was like basically half off of what their yearly cost was. So for the first year, so nice. I was like, I'll do it for the first year at least. We
can do like a Brady Bunch montage kind of thing, where we have like all 6 panels or 9 panels.
So I think that's the right. If anybody wants to join in,
everyone in the chat is welcome. I mean, I know Stevie normally joins in, but even if you're new, if you're just showed up and you'd like to come in and talk some comics or show some comics, we're willing to accommodate.
Bad mouth my conservation work, whatever it takes.
There we go. There's Adam.
There's our good buddy.
Happy birthday, Adam.
Up and Adam.
Yeah, it's his birthday.
Happy
birthday, boy.
Happy birthday, Adam.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, I didn't get you anything.
Yeah.
just seeing all the lovely beards out there is gift enough.
Right. What are you doing shaving, man? Yeah. It's overrated. Save some money on razors.
Let's see.
Yeah. Save some money on razors. Well, gotta turn something down there, Stevie. I think.
Yeah.
Turn
down your phone or something, Stevie.
Okay.
Let me leave and come back real fast because I can't hear the other guests.
Sure.
Okay.
He's having a Stevie problem.
All right.
Stevie will have to go back out when he comes back in because he won't be able to hear him. Oh, there was Stevie.
Yeah,
I did shower. I promise. Like
you can hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Steppo, the great Steppo.
Hey. Steven is on. I have something really interesting to show everyone. Let's see if everyone is able to. Are you able to? Let's check to make sure everyone's able to hear each other here. I think
everybody.
Check.
Steven, say something.
Can you hear everybody, Stevie?
Check.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't hear Steven.
Okay.
All right, let me jump out again real fast.
Right. Good. Just a minute here. I was gonna show a couple things. Well, actually, as we go, so a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, Steven showed some recent acquisitions that he had. There's Johnny. And as he was showing some lunch boxes he got, I was talking before he even showed it. I was talking about like this nostalgic thing. It brought back this rush of memories of a lunchbox that I had when I was a child, and I was a big comic book fan even as a kid, and it was like I carried it with me. I used to use it to like sled on. Like we had a hill that we used to walk down, on our way back from school, and these things were. I mean, it was by the end it was in rough shape, but and then he showed it. It was this is the same model lunchbox that I had, and he sent it to me. So the great powerful Steven sent me my childhood lunchbox.
Very
amazing.
And it's in better shape than the one I had all those years ago. Wow. And it even has the thermos.
Oh my gosh.
So
that is wild.
This is fantastic. It's from that I probably had growing up I probably had maybe 3 different lunchboxes, but this is the one that I remember is the great Marvel superheroes one. And I used to eat my lunch and look at this and like kind of stare and eating sandwiches looking at it, and it's all kind of embossed. You can feel like the thing, but it's I'm thrilled. Thank you very much, Stephen, for this. I
used to trace the characters off the lunchbox off that. I had the same thing, man.
You're very, very welcome.
I haven't felt like this in many. I haven't felt the characters even in many years. And mine was like rusted, and like the Hulk. I remember looking at this as a child while I would eat my lunch. That my mom had packed for me, and then the thermos. Sometimes, like if I was lucky, she'd like have some Campbell soup in the thermos.
Chicken noodle,
or chicken with stars or something. But thank you very much. I'm very touched by that. Thank you very much for saying that to me.
Yeah, well, you went on. Nice. I know what it's like to have a childhood memory that you all of a sudden that you see something that is right out of your childhood, and to be able to have it again. It's a touchstone, and and so much of almost all comic collectors that I know are in some regards sentimental, because when they grow up and they remember the books that they never had or couldn't have, and then when you finally can, it's a hurt. It hurt's too strong a word, but it's this desire that when you finally have it in your hands. It'll just, if you're a collector, it washes right over you, and you go, "Oh, I feel so good." Well, if you're not a collector and you try to describe that to someone who isn't a collector, forget it, because they say, "What's the big deal?" It's that defective gene, along the DNA strand. I'm loaded with it. I mean, come on, it's the way it goes.
There's that lost magic where it's like when you were a kid, when there were certain things that you had or one where there was a certain magic associated with, almost like Christmas morning kind of a thing, and you lose a lot of that as you grow older. Like you're like, I mean, very few things have that other than the things from when you were a kid. Those things hold on, and it stays with you. I think, like I've told the story many times about I had this Hulk 181 that my dad and I bought together at this convention in 1987, and I had to sell it when I was in the military. I had to sell it for Christmas presents, and to be able to buy it again, I have it right here. In a better one than I owned way back then. It was a bit of an emotional reaction I had to get that comic after 30 years, almost 30 years of not having it. It was. There was a certain rush that came over me with that one.
So I want to know how you actually sledded down a hill on that lunchbox.
These things. Well, if you're small, it was like you. I was obviously not as big as I am now. Right. I was a smaller person, but I sat on it, and I swear I would. It was it was a road, but it was like like ice and slush and I used to just use this and sled down.
Well, don't do that again with that one, okay? Because it was hard enough for me to find that.
There won't be anything left at this age.
I've done the same thing on a Tonka truck, like the dump truck thing. I've got one out there. I found it.
Those things were. but Tonkas were durable enough. You could do that.
Well, but the one I've got now, Steven, is I look at that thing and I'm like, there's no way I was ever small enough to ride that sucker, man. I just rode that thing down my hill behind my grandparents. I'm like, there's no way.
I grew up dirt poor, and we could afford a sled.
My dad gave us. We had the saucer sleds. Dad bought us these metal saucer sleds, and all those things ever did. There were little there were like little stirrup things you could hold on to on the side. Every time you'd ride a saucer sled, all you end up doing is as you go down the hill, you turn around and then you go down the hill backward. And that's the way it would always be. And the kids down the street who had many older brothers and sisters, all of them had flexible flyers, okay? The really nice flexible flyers. Yeah. And and a lot of them were skiers, and they would take ski wax and they would go over the rails with these things. Yeah. And I'm telling you, I lived in the West Hills of Portland, and they actually would close streets where you would go down like this all the way down to the bottom. I mean, it would take you 40 minutes to walk back up and take about 2.5 minutes to get back down. But, but all the stuff, but the flexible flyers were always the very, very best sleds.
Well, Johnny, we always had homemade sleds like car hoods, tractor tires.
We always had the semi inner tubes. Always.
We had tractor inner tubes.
Like 9 people on it. You have 9 people on your tube.
The best sled that we had was we took a slide off of a swing set, like a small slide, and my dad cut it. He cut it, and then the
toboggan.
It was perfect. It was perfect, man. It had a thing like this. You put a rope on it on one end of it, man, and wax the bottom of it. Dude, you friggin' fly down a hill on that sucker.
Kids now could never. Can you imagine?
Well, the one here too is skateboards. The first skateboard I got was a roller derby 10. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. It's just about this big, and it had metal wheels because that's what they used back in the day, and so they basically just pressed them into this wood board, and the ability to turn was extremely problematic. And we have around our house, going up and down the hills, we had corrugated cement on the sidewalks. So when it was icy, you could walk. So you're at a pretty good clip, and you hit that corrugation like this, you go,
Well, we're all magical survivors of Darwinism.
It's very true, Adam.
Can you imagine a kid with a bike helmet when we were kids? You'd be like,
"Oh God!"
He would have been beat up for wearing it. I mean, what's that?
We didn't have a kid like that, but he was this, special kid. So you couldn't really say much to him. But
this is what people would assume. They would assume, like, "Oh, he's
special."
Yes, that's what they would think.
That was the word they would say, special. But I got a thing I want to show. I got today in the mail from. Let me change everything around. Got a little thing in the mail today from our resident artist, Stevie D.
You're kidding. What were they saying?
You sent the poster for the show.
Oh, yeah.
The live show. Comic King. Look at
that. That's great.
That's awesome.
It's actually our backdrop with our logos behind us, if you look behind us, but
I like it.
I just wanted to show that real quick. Stevie D, thank you, buddy. Sent a little letter and stuff, but I won't read it. I don't want to make it all mushy.
No sentimental on this one.
I've got some stuff to show. I could kick it off if you want, Rich.
All right, yeah, I got some stuff too. I just
I've shown a little bit of this already on Allen's, but I did get something cool today that just arrived. I was mentioning this yesterday, and Stephen mentioned he has the actual Elf comic of this, but I found this. There's a bit of an homage. It's Cerebus doing the controversial Elf cover.
Oh wow!
And
that's awesome. Yeah,
Elf, it's like a censored version of Elf, and he's saying Papa. And Sarah was saying, "Well, how did you think it happened?" To create an elf. And there's the elf. That's the one. That's what this is. What Steven's showing. That's the actual controversial, like recalled version. But this is like Dave Sim did a take on this, and he's calling it Alien Life, and it's just censored, like the last word you can fill in the blank.
Right.
Shocking true confessions of a safe word seal. So
I kind of like that one better, man.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Then a few other things here. Sorry, I think I dropped one of these. But the so this is you can find this at your LCS. This is cover C for Monsters this month, number 6. So Mark Spears and the president of Dynamite Comics were on Beyond Wednesdays earlier this week, and they were talking about this. So Dynamite owns the likeness to Vampirella right now, and they were they allowed an exchange. So Vampirella is appearing on Monsters this month, and Mark Spears' Monsters are appearing on the Vampirella this month. So you can you can get this kind of an exchange. Both Mark Spears, obviously, Mark Spears art for both of them.
That's gorgeous.
I have a couple of Shubinas. These are I have the metal ones, but I also have these virgin ones. These are actually going over to Steven, but these were the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that Shubina did for San Diego.
These are the virgin ones?
I'm sorry?
These are the virgin ones?
These are the virgin. I also have the metal of this too, but there's this one and this one, which I think is the better of the two.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
Alan was saying that those metal virgins that you have are now going for around $400 on eBay.
Yeah. Wow. Well, they were like $90 a piece, so they were expensive. But anything Shubina, like, and for the people in the chat who aren't familiar, Sveta Shubina is a Ukrainian artist, and she's actually stuck in the Ukraine, in like a really war-torn part of the Ukraine. She has to send these like her work out to her manager, who I think is in the U.S. And it just gets out, and everything she's doing. Yeah, I agree, AG. I'm skeptical, but yeah, to get her stuff. But all of this stuff that she's doing now, like if you don't get it like right away, for like the harder stuff, like the stuff where it's limited, 200 or whatever, it like within a couple of weeks it goes up to $300 or $400 for these covers. It's like really like kind of the next big thing.
That's awesome.
Then the other one is I always talk about a few artists that I always really like, and one is Suspiria. Suspiria, her name's Suspiria Velasquez, I think it begins with a V. But
I think it is
Velasquez. I think.
Yeah.
But she's from Barcelona. But she's living right now in Canada, near Toronto. But she does all painted covers. She's doing a lot of painted like horror posters, painted book covers. But the guys from Beyond Wednesdays, they had a booth at San Diego Comic-Con this year, and they had Shubina do a couple exclusives for their booth. And they were asking her, well, what would you like to do? And they gave her some options. And they honed in on G.I. Joe and doing like the female characters for G.I. Joe. So she did this really cool Scarlet.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
This is one of 250 that she did. And then the other one that she did was this cool Baroness.
Wow. That's
and if you've never seen Suspiria, this is a self-portrait. She made herself as the Baron. Like Suspiria is she's really attractive. She's a very attractive girl. She did really cool. Yeah, turned herself into the cover, which is really cool. And then then
I don't think I've ever been jealous of Destro more.
Welcome, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Then I got some original stuff from Suspiria and a couple. So it took her a while to send some stuff out, and off of her website you can buy. She has original art, she has prints, and she'll do commissions as well. But I ordered this. This is her namesake, the Suspiria movie. This is a movie poster she did.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and everything she does is painted, and it went out late. So she wrote to me. She's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, everything's going out late, and I'll throw in something for free." So she threw in this cool. Oh, it's upside down. Doggone. This cool Lily monster print that she did.
Wow,
that's great.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then
I mentioned in a previous chat that I'm a huge Suspiria fan, so that's actually my ringtone, the Goblin soundtrack for the film. It's actually it's actually my ringtone. So it's awesome to see that poster, that print. It's gorgeous work.
Yeah, she's great. And then this is the original. This is an original. I did look it up, and it's acrylic. And this is from a book cover that she did. It was like an actual novel. This is from. And on the plastic, she put a little gracias. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh God, do we have to watch you flex much longer, Chonko? My God.
No, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm done.
Jason, I wanted to thank you again for the Laurel and Hardy very much.
My pleasure. Your guys' channel has brought so much joy to my life, so I had to give something back. And one of the things I wanted to mention earlier is just how generous this community is. All of you guys just really I was not expecting that when I got into this whole thing, but the generosity, the actual sincere interest in individual in each other that you guys share, really great stuff. I mean, sincerely, you guys are amazing.
Well, other than Alan, but I'll go with you on that.
We all have our faults.
Now, Jason, that was a really great piece. I mean, you have really some great artistic talent there. We need to see more of it.
Yeah,
that means a lot to me coming from you, Adam. I really appreciate that.
No.
That's I really like that because the video you did on it too. Really
Thank you. Thank you.
Steven, I swear the way you talk with your jokes on Alan, you're going to kill me someday.
Alan's just building up all this stuff, and he's just going to explode one day.
Well, he had a quiz, and he put a ringer question into it because I've gone around and around with him about the first appearance of Ant-Man, which is in Tales to Astonish 35. He gets his costume, he gets his reasoning, he has the cybernetic helmet, he has his secret lab, he can control the ants, he's heroic, he has a reason and all that. And in Tales to Astonish 27, he's just a guy in an anthill running for his life the whole time. All right, so that's not heroic. So he had this thing where he basically offered this as a question to make me have to answer the way he wanted. And he was thrilled when he says, "What is the first appearance of Ant-Man?" And I chimed in first, and then he says, "Okay, Stephen," because we go around and around on this, and he goes, "Okay, Stephen, what is it?" I go, "Tales to Astonish 27," which is incorrect. He says, "Nope, I have you on tape now. I've won. You've never seen a happier guy in your life.
You've never one of my favorite things."
He's gonna cut that out, and then he's gonna do one of those shorts on Tales to Astonish 27. Noted expert. I know he's gonna do something like this. Noted expert Stephen Gentner says, yes, it's the first appearance of Ant-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of it. And I'll never hear the end of it. I gave him what he wanted, though.
It's one of my favorite things is the banter with you guys. I laugh so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
awesome. It's the Laurel and Hardy. It's perfect.
They are.
Well, he did catch me on that question about what was the first year of DC Comics. because I went with 1935 thinking of the company on its own. And then I realized he was asking when did they change their name to DC Comics, which was 1977.
His question was not clear, which of course he loves to do. He's confused often, ladies and gentlemen. He's confused quite often.
It's all fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. I mostly had fun like sniping the questions, like when everyone else would answer, and then I would like right at the end I could like chime in and say the correct one because I by then we saw what he was going for. I was stealing points that way.
Well, then they had the chat running with all the people putting in all the answers in the chat, and Matt's waiting. Atkinson's waiting for the chat for the thing to have the answer, and we're waiting. Everybody else is folding, and we're waiting. And Wayne says, "Well, Matt, are you going to fold?" Matt says, "Well, I was just kind of waiting for the chat to see if I could get the right answer for some points."
He said we could do that, so I was within my legit. He also didn't give us a time limit.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, Matt's an honest man.
Matt is an honest man. He is.
Yes.
Do you want me to, Rich? Okay, were you going to show some?
Yeah, I had some I wanted to show. I was hoping Son of Crom was going to be here tonight because I was trying to. I can never stay up late enough to midnight to be able to get on the show to, the Midnight with Monsters. A few books I picked up yesterday. I wanted to show off, but I picked up Psycho.
Oh,
wow.
Those have some great covers.
That's really cool.
Yeah, this is number
that
one.
Series is awesome.
Yeah, this thing's just so sweet. It's like 1971. Yeah, January 1971. I just love that cover, man. It's just so cool. My local LCS got a collection in and got quite a bit of these. So if no one else buys them, I'm going to slowly go back and pick some more up here.
Yeah, you should.
And then so then I got these Monsters Unleashed. He had quite a few of these to pick from. This is number 2.
Yeah,
but,
I'm looking for that
I like
one
the
too,
Frankenstein.
That's a great book.
Yeah, I like the Frankenstein.
I think I think those are all like a lot of those are Boris Vallejo covers. I think.
Yeah,
they are.
Yes,
it is exactly what it is. That's
Christopher Parker. One. This hat's for you.
That's number 6. So,
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
I love these horror books.
Friend.
Okay, who's the cover artist on this?
It's Boris.
Yeah, it looks like Boris Vallejo. Yeah,
I thought so. I just wanted to verify.
So that's the Charlton.
The first two. Say what?
That's a Charlton. What?
Is it Carlson? It's what's it called?
It's a Marvel Curtis. It's Marvel.
Curtis. Yeah, Curtis is you saw the C for Curtis. Yeah. Curtis was the magazine arm of Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh. So that's nice.
And then some of these other stay. But then I picked up, some I've been picking up foreign comics here and there where I can pick up some foreign ones. This is
nice, sweet.
Oh, yeah. That's a great cover.
Mexico. Yeah, Mexico cover, Batman.
I'm excited too, Chris.
I'm surprised it doesn't say. Yeah, Murcielago is Batman, isn't it? Murcielago, I believe it is.
Murcielago. Murcielago. Yeah.
Look at his nose on there.
El Hombre Murcielago.
Not to be confused with the car.
Or the deflator mouse.
And then this is a German one, 1983.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sweet. The Zonderheft.
Is that an Aparo cover?
Arden Craig in Washington. See?
Jim Aparo?
Probably.
Jim Aparo. It doesn't. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Hold it up really close. Yes.
It is.
Yeah. Just from the face features, you can tell he always does the jaws a bit square.
Yeah.
When they're bad guys, and Batman, he always has the ears at a certain length, and they're
kind of the way they're pointed and stuff.
Yeah, and the cape always gives it away too.
And then I got these Spain Spider-Mans. They're like a little facsimile thing.
Wow, that's
ASM 300 to 303.
Wow,
very cool.
So it's kind of cool.
How much did these foreign editions cost? Do you remember?
I bought them off of Cheddar Comics on his claim sale.
Oh, okay.
And I think when I bought this stuff, I grouped them together, so I can't remember exactly what I actually paid.
All right.
This is the other one. It's
Nice.
$298, $299. Has both of them in Spain, so kind of cool.
Cool.
My foreign collection, and then to go with Sleepy Reader 666. If you guys ever watched him, he did a really cool video on this book, and completely FOMO'd me because I'm a huge John Buscema fan. That's my dude. That's my favorite artist of all time. And
That's awesome.
I've been working on collecting, all of his stuff.
You even said his name correct. You even said his last name correctly. Buscema. Buscema.
This book, man, is freaking awesome.
That's beautiful. Wow.
It's a big, thick sucker,
Wow.
It has everything in it. What it was they did a tribute like over in Spain or something. So the book is actually in Spanish and English.
Wow, that's cool.
So, and it has pictures of his wife. They flew his wife over there and stuff.
Which version are you going to read, Rich?
To do honor. What'd you say, Johnny?
I said, which version are you going to read?
He's going hard mode.
I took 3 years of Spanish, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't believe
There's something about Pantalones and
Hablo muy
I only
poquito.
ever remember El Pollo Loco.
I recognize
Pollo
a word
taco.
every
That's
once in a
all.
while. But in the back, it makes it nice because it's like it's a checklist, and it goes by year when he started and stuff. I mean,
Oh wow.
It makes me realize that I am nowhere near collecting all his stuff.
I saw your video how it was shipped, and you're right. I would have lost my mind when you were talking about it.
It came in a larger box. This is a good sized book. Here's my hand. That's how big the book is. But and it came in a box. It was probably this much bigger and this much longer, loose. Nothing in it, just beating and banging around in there, being.
That would have been a 20-minute part of my video, just insulting the person.
This corner right here is like slightly crunched and torn a little bit.
That sucks.
This is a first printing, and it was $100. So I mean, and that's how they shipped it. I was like, what the hell?
Wow,
it's totally disgusting. But, that's all I got, man.
Let's
go next.
That checklist will make it rabbit hole inducing.
Yeah, it makes me feel like it makes me realize I'll spend the rest of my life trying to collect all this stuff.
Jason, you were talking about in your restoration process where you would show the wash, and then they would basically pour the wash into the glass, and then you could actually see just the level of crud that came off this.
Oh yeah.
This book was at Heritage, and it was a 4.0 raw.
Wow.
It was absolutely ungraded, completely falsely. The book was missing. I mean, it had a single. I think it was a single staple because it's during the war. It might have been just before. And the thing about this one, it was so dirty. It was absolutely filthy with a spine roll that it was coming apart, and the edges were not, one of the pages wasn't cut correctly, and it was a complete shambles. I sent this to Matt Taylor, MT, One Comics, and he basically started the process on this. He says, I stopped counting at 60 tear seals. And he was using this fancy Japanese paper or something. He told me all this, and then he had I don't even know what the chemicals, the molybdenum wash or whatever the hell it was. I just say that, he took the boron, and he took the boron and the neon, and they put it in his eye, and then tears went in. I don't know what it was, the process. But he showed a picture of the jar of the dirt that came off this, and it looked like a cup of coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It was, and then subsequent ones were lighter, just like you said, were lighter and lighter until then you just stop. I can't even tell you how I have never seen a back cover come back, and he's using all the prescribed magical herbs and spices to bring it back. But it's, I mean, I've never, the transformation to the back cover. It's just, and this is actually, this is exciting number 11. So 9, 10. So this is the third appearance of the Black Terror in exciting.
Wow.
And then this one.
Gorgeous book, man. Love it.
Yeah.
This one here.
Oh yeah.
Is a Wings comic from the war, 1944, but this is from the Okajima collection.
Oh, you've shown it. I love this comic.
And if you aren't familiar with the Okajimas, I'm sure you are, but it was when this brother and sister and family were incarcerated during World War II as Japanese Americans. And they were in Fresno, California on a farm, is what they had. Long, hard-working Americans. And then they were uprooted and they were sent to a gulag in Arizona. And up here in the corner, you can see where it has 4K. That is the store code that basically tells you in the list of them that Karen's Pages did, where she basically goes through and she catalogs all of this stuff. If you haven't seen her presentation on the Okajimas, and then she proved because of which ones that were the actual Okajimas, because there were several that were there. And the one that they thought was the one had actually gotten out and they were still getting books, so that she knew that it wasn't them, and it was a brother and a sister. So there's
something extra sentimental about the fact that a Japanese internment child was buying World War II books.
Showing them fighting the Japanese.
Exactly. Right. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Just wow.
It is so surreal. And here you are, you're in prison.
Yeah.
And you're reading about the America that you love.
Right.
And they're fighting the evil Japanese, and here you are, and you're an American, and you're in favor of us winning, and you're incarcerated because you're Japanese American.
Just tragic. Yeah. Just absolutely tragic.
I had a breakfast cook at the Imperial Hotel, our business. When I first started there, I started to work at the hotel in 1978. I graduated from college in 76. So her name was Grace Inui. She had married she was a Japanese American, and she had married a guy from Hawaii, Inui, and she and her mother were incarcerated, and they had a flower shop here in Portland, Oregon. And then the other thing that happened to their businesses, these guys like carpetbaggers would come in and buy the businesses and the land and the houses for pennies on the dollar. It was reprehensible. And she would always joke about it. She says, my mother is just hoping to live long enough that we get some sort of reparation for what was taken from us back in the war years. And her mother, unfortunately, didn't live quite long enough to get her reward, but Grace did. And so we were laughing about that. And Ronald Reagan was the one who basically did the right thing on that. I'm sorry. I can't help it. No matter where I go into a lemon tree. I apologize.
No, it's good. In fact, I was going to ask, could you tell the story? I believe you talked about a hare.
Oh, yes. I picked up another one that I actually had slabbed. Okajima. I got this from a guy that was there at Ground Zero when they actually, even before they had the big auction, he was handling them and going to conventions and selling them, Okajimas. When I was going through this Big Shot comic that had basically sat in a storage locker from when it was taken or sold from their shed where all these books were housed, and it just sat. And so the Karen's Pages says, always look through the book to see if there's anything in there, like if someone signed a page or if there's any notes or anything in it. Yeah. So I'm going through this, and and of course they were Japanese Americans, and here is this long black hair in the middle of the book from one of the Okajimas.
Wow.
And so I mean, it's ridiculous, but I mean, here is one of the Okajimas. Probably, if it was long enough, I think it was the girl, the gal, and so I put it into an envelope, and I contacted Karen, who had done all this work, and I said, this may sound weird, but when I was going through this big shot, I found a long head hair, hair out of the head.
Comic, of course.
And it's going up on eBay. No, and I said that and when you put it like this, it's the face of Jesus. No, anyway, so what they ended up, I said, if you would like me to send this to you, I would send it to you. She says, thank you very much, LOL. You can keep the hair. And I said, I feel so stupid. She says, don't, I mean, as far as that goes. But she has done yeoman's work on this. She's answered all the questions, and it's amazing what she has discovered. If you haven't watched it,
I think she's gone. I don't think I've seen Era do anything since that video.
No, she has. I think that she got busy with other stuff. I just want to show a few this is from my Modern Keys books. I have like sort of just, if you try to put them alphabetical, you'll never find them. So there's some like sort of minor keys and, minor sort of keys that I put all together just so that it's an easy place to find them. Here's the first, I think, Howard the Duck.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
It's a cool book.
Yep, man. 19.
Here is the first Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
With 6-armed Spider-Man still.
First Morbius solo, I think.
Howard.
Yeah.
Living vampire.
Just a couple more.
Yeah.
I only have a few of them, so I put them all together.
Nice.
I don't even know why I put this in here. I think it's from Canada. Something wrong.
Alpha
That's a
Flight.
good book, man. Good book.
Love Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Is this the first Jennifer, or I can't remember, Jessica Jones?
Yeah, first Jessica Jones.
That's not based on the TV show Alias, right? That's a different.
No,
Alias.
the TV show Alias is based on the book.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Nice. I like
That's
that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
King Solomon's Frog.
Kirby goodness.
So
Oh, yeah.
Kirby, and he's got Kirby Crackle inside the frog. I've heard of eating crackling, but eating frog crackle, I'm
Crackle.
ew.
But Kirby Crackle.
Yeah, Kirby Crackle.
I'll eat that.
Shiny 90s goodness. That's
Buddy.
90s.
Yeah.
Love that.
Kermit Crackle is what they call that.
It's like swashbuckling blade.
Oh, yeah.
Elsa.
First,
Elsa Bloodstone or
yeah,
whatever.
Elsa Bloodstone, yeah.
Yeah.
The cake on the cover there.
Here's just a nice copy of Chamber of Darkness 3.
Cake
Yeah,
on
nice.
that cover?
Like that. I've been trying to put that run together.
It's a nice run. Can you gentlemen tell me what the importance of this book is?
It's
Stephen,
first
get
Bernie
your-
writes in Marvel.
That is absolutely right. Who said that?
Adam.
What'd you say, Adam?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
What'd you say?
First Bernie writes in work at Marvel.
Oh,
wow.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's awesome. Did not know that.
Darn you, Adam.
I know about Bernie
Adam
writes
should
in-
do
Yeah.
that.
Adam's a Wrightson authority. He really knows Wrightson.
Cloak
Nice.
and dagger.
Yeah. First
In the same issue.
I'll
like the
show
movie.
one more. I'll show one more, and then I'll relinquish the field to other people. I don't want to play through. When you see all this other stuff, and of course, let's from the ridiculous to the sublime.
Love that.
That's a great cover.
Robert Williams. is it?
Absolutely.
I
love
saw
that,
I
man.
think I saw that just before I went out on the other day.
I absolutely love that, man. Love that, Steven. Love that.
Hey,
I got-
before we go to another person, let's welcome somebody new. I just saw new. Hi, Bobby. Welcome.
Hey, Bobby.
Hi,
how's it going?
I think we're just becoming acquainted. So
Yeah,
thanks for joining up.
this is the first time I've been in a live stream, and as soon as I saw Big Nasty held up that Psycho book.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to get in because
Hold on, I need to jump off and jump back in again so I can hear you because
I'm sorry.
This is weird.
Actually, I'm going to say goodnight, folks. I'm not feeling I'm awake anymore. So
okay.
Good night. See you, man. Take care.
Take care of yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
I saw you hold up that Psycho book, which got me really excited. I like Skywald. I'm a big fan of Al Hewitson. I did a recent video about him that was playing at some festivals that I'll put online soon. But I always hear people talking about the Warren horror magazines and never too much about the Skywald stuff. So I was really excited to see that, which has some really great work in it. Of course, Hewitson wrote much of it, but a lot of great artists too are in those books.
Yeah.
So I was excited to see the Psycho book.
Bobby, what's your channel?
It has a really long name. It's called Sequential Artifacts, and then it has my name because my name was always attached to it as for my documentary work. But I started to, I watch a lot of comic, and I subscribe to everyone here. I watch a lot of comic videos, but I don't.
This is Robert Evans, the professor I was talking about, the documentarian. His work is phenomenal. Please check it out.
I don't.
I'm try to subscribe now.
Yeah,
you're too young to be a documentarist.
What's that?
You're too young to be a documentarist.
I'm 50 years old. The white hair doesn't give away my real age. I appreciate that. My collection is I think modest. So I thought like, man, I don't have all these great books to share that everybody has. I have like 4 Golden Age books.
Oh, we celebrate. If it's cool to you, it's cool to us. Like that's literally how we think.
So I thought, like, how can I contribute to this community, which I think is awesome? And I thought, let me think of ways I can share my collection in a different kind of way. So I try to make videos that deal with sort of cultural and historical background of comics before I actually show like comics from my collection that I like. So that's kind of my jam with that.
Yeah,
I've been making films for a while, and I made a feature-length film about Frederick Wertham that some comic people know called Diagram for Delinquents. I had a lot of good luck. I brought that to San Diego Comic-Con in 2014.
It's a really it's such a great and such unique look at such an interesting character because you're stepping back and kind of getting the objective truth about who he is, and it's fascinating. He's a very complicated individual, and I love that you don't shy away from the damage that he did, but also the fact that he was a progressive and he meant well, and
you should go back to Nuremberg and help those kids rather than us. Bobby, can I ask you a question? May I ask you a question?
Yes, for sure.
I've read extensively on Dr. Wertham.
Yes.
The juvenile delinquent doctor. But the scientific method, in my mind, is that you have a premise, you have a hypothesis, and the scientific method is to go about disproving your hypothesis. Where what Wertham would do is he would talk to juvenile delinquents. Why did you hold up that drugstore? He says, well, they had a bunch of stuff I wanted. And he says, how did you know about doing crime? He says, well, I saw it in a comic book. He says, do you collect comic books? He says, yes, I love comic books. Boom. Then he says, comic books caused this kid to have crime. Yeah. So in other words, he had it in his mind. He basically would get testimony and information to buttress his on a positive basis rather than on a disproving basis. Am I incorrect or am I correct?
No, you're correct.
Skewed data.
A large part of the problem with the work, one of the things that was confusing about Wertham, I think, or one of the things that was sort of put on Wertham is that he was this sort of very conservative. He was actually a very progressive kind of guy in his thinking and in his actions, but he really kind of went crazy with the comic stuff. And part of the big problem with the work is that he was taking correlation and sort of making it causation. That was the sort of big problem.
Yes, that's exactly, you said it better than I.
Yeah. And so that's the big problem with the words, other than he sort of massaged some things, I think, to make his argument as well. But as far as the science goes, the one thing that people have to understand is he was a social psychiatrist. So his method was not so much a quantitative method, but a qualitative method. So the fact that he was interviewing children, like that is part of that scientific method, which would be a little different than, quantitative method that might seem less squishier. Not that that's letting him off the hook, but the fact that he was doing interview was a legitimate part of the process of doing social psychiatry.
Yeah, but that's like, do you like hot dogs? He says, "Oh, I love hot dogs." There it is. Hot dogs cause criminal.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and so one of the things I say in the film is, he's like, he's running this clinic up in Harlem, and he's like interviewing all these children who are, juvenile delinquents. And the one thing he sees that they're all reading these crime and horror comics. But the one thing he doesn't realize is that like 92% of all children at the time were reading comic books,
and young adults too. I mean, the penetration of the market in the golden age was from stem to stern, from all the way, soup to nuts,
for sure, and across genders and stuff like that. So, but yeah, he sort of missed that fact, right? That of course all of the common factor on these children that he was meeting, they were reading comics because almost every kid was reading comics. So it's like you say, like, do you eat hot dogs? Almost every kid's eating hot dogs. Hot dogs are causing juvenile.
They're causing the JDs, man.
Yeah,
they're causing those JDs.
Hey, Bobby, where can you watch? Where can you watch this documentary at?
It's on Amazon, but I think you have to like rent it on Amazon. But here's the thing: I can send DVD or I can email anyone a copy that you can download here.
Okay.
I'll put my email in the chat.
Bobby, you interviewed Roy Thomas and Al Williams. Was this Al Williams' last interview? As far as
Al Feldstein, yeah, it was his last
Al
interview.
Feldstein. Sorry, yeah, Al Feldstein.
Someone mentioned him in the chat, man. He was so generous to us. We went and stayed on his farm.
Wow.
And he gave us like days with him, and he really, I think he must have known that the end was near, because he really opened up to us about his relationship between Gaines, because as you know they had kind of a sort of rough ending with each other, but he was he was really fantastic and just sort of sweet with us, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, he was great.
Bobby, would you come on sometime and maybe do an interview with Big Nasty? And really sure. Great to talk. I mean, this is a subject that I think all of us are really. Yeah. We could do a whole hour on this alone. I think. I had one question about it though. That one of the things I've always been fascinated by was it seemed like Wortham fell into this kind of cult of personality, and he started kind of like smelling his own farts and like really kind of believing that he was the authority on this and going on talk shows. Did you find that
Dude, 100%. When you go through dude, this guy, I mean, obviously I'm fascinated by him. And the reason why I brought it up, and with the Psycho, I just want to quickly tell you one other anecdote about this that I think you'll be interested in. When you go to the Library of Congress, which has his archives, and go through it, I mean, this guy saved every single newspaper clipping about him, everything that was written about him. It's all underlined and annotated, like his little notes about what he thought about what someone was saying and what he thinks about it. And when people would write him, he would sort of write back correction letters. I definitely liked, I think, to hear himself speak. He definitely thought himself a great authority on the subject matter. But I also think he did think he was doing good work in what he was, but he definitely, as you say so adroitly, liked to smell his own farts for sure. But he was not a man without a sense of humor and self-awareness too, which I made this new short film that actually stars Al Hewitson and him. Al Hewitson being the publisher of the Skywald publications, who wrote for Warren and wrote some horror comics as well for Marvel. But Hewitson wrote a funny comic wherein he sort of where he kills Wortham in this comic. Wortham reads it in the magazine and says, "Oh, I saw this thing you made," and it starts this letter exchange where essentially Al Hewitson is like, man, your whole thing with the violence in the comics and all this jazz, you got it wrong, and Wortham's sort of like, kind of standoffish with him. But then they go on this writing letter exchange and they become friends. Like through this thing. So at first they're sort of there's this combative relationship and they become friends. And by the end of it, in these letters that I got from the archives, and I met with Al Hewitzon's daughter and sort of got her permission and got some more stuff from her. Eventually, in the end, he says, "Listen, I don't like what you have to say about, comics and how you feel about their value, but you're not the guy I thought you were. I don't hate you like he told him I hated you at one point. He's like, I don't hate you anymore. I'm hearing
Thank you for your honesty."
Yeah. He was like, I feel like we have this sort of respectable. We have a disagreement, and in Wortham's book, in Seduction of the Innocent, he says really comics have no value.
Yes.
But I found in these letters as he's writing, it's the only time I've ever seen it. He kind of, in not so many words, sort of backs off of that a little. Because at one point they start to talk about art. Like Hewitson is like, you must be able to recognize the art and the artistry in these comics. And he doesn't say, yes, you're right. But he does say, I think if someone makes something and they say like this thing is art, then it is art. Like he sort of finally admits that comics
begrudgingly. That's about as weaselly an answer as I've ever heard.
So I mean, if you're interested, I have links. I put if you're interested, although I'll put that, I think it might be done playing any kind of festivals. I didn't have as much luck as I thought I would have. It might be because I made the film in a very strange way. I have them talking to each other through their letters, and it's sort of animated. But I thought, how can I do this in a weird, creative way to present this film? So I perform as a late night horror host. Like I create this character, and I shot it all on VHS. And so
perfect. It's a perfect way to do it.
Right. When I submitted it to festivals, I told them, "Hey, I found this old episode. I'm from New Jersey." And I was like, I found this old episode of this New Jersey late night horror show thing. I think it might be of interest. And I sort of kept the mask up. And some people got it and it played at some conventions. And other people, I think, were probably like, what the fuck? Like, what is this?
What is this?
Yeah, it would be great.
It's called Weird as It Is. I'll send you the link if anyone's interested. You can email
Please.
Sounds like fun.
Send it to me, man.
And it's a half hour long, and it's one of the most fun projects I've ever worked on because I built a studio set in my basement where I shot it. And I created like a talk show host who's a Victorian ghost on a TV set that I talk to. So it's this whole thing wherein I set up, I introduce it, and and it's like before I show the feature film, which is like I made a trailer for a fake film about like, the thing that crawled from the comic books. And then I go about telling this story, which I think is a pretty incrible story in comic book history. So that's why.
What comics do you collect, Bobby? What comics
Matt,
do you
we
collect?
already asked you.
I still read contemporary comics all the time. Because of my age, I'm like, I knew I was around the same age as Jason, but I think we're like exactly the same age. I was born in 75 too.
Yeah.
So because so I have so as far as the comics I really love, it's like Bronze Age and like early modern is like my like old school wheelhouse, but I still read comics today. And I get some Silver Age that sort of reach back. But one of my niche things that I like to collect, so I'm always looking for tips. And one of my videos is about this, are POV comic book covers. Like any comic book cover that is that is obviously from the POV of an individual.
And you have a video on this as well.
Yeah, I have. What's one of the videos in my series is about POV comics.
I'm gonna watch your stuff for sure. But I know, I think I speak for Rich, but we would love to have you on. I mean, yes. I would love to hear about this, like full 45 minutes to an hour or something to really just talk about this type of stuff. I'm always fascinated with Wortham, and the more information, the better, as far as I'm concerned about Sody.
Yeah. I'd love to. It might be a perfect time to kind of, if we do that too, just kind of send out the link to people who come for this.
We can do that.
Al Hewitson Wortham doc, because this is the community. Really, it's really for like horror and it's very esoteric.
Yeah, and we can promote it
not
too.
Not like us.
But we promote it too, and we could ask other channels to promote it and stuff. But yeah, I know a lot of people who would really be interested specifically in this. I mean, I think let's touch base like after some. Let's have a full interview on this. That would be really great.
Yeah, sorry for
I love this because
no, this is perfect. We love this.
That's awesome.
I've been wanting people to like know your channel because it's like there's this treasure channel here that. I mean, some people know about it, but like the wider community needs to know about it because you're doing some amazing work, and I'm glad that this is that this happened.
I have an idea. I've been wanting to collaborate. I emailed Jason. I'm going to email you again. I've been wanting to collaborate with Jason forever because I think we can.
That's some ideas.
2 areas to kind of make something interesting.
So what is your handle? What is your handle again?
It's called Sequential Artifacts by.
JSS put it in the chat.
Yeah, in the chat, you could the link. JSS dropped the link.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
So, Jason, one of the questions I asked in the chat was like, man, today, which someone said too about your music, and when I was watching your video today, I looked up at my wife who was cooking dinner, and she was like dancing to the music on your channel. But besides, today, what I thought was really great is when you were sort of talking about, you were like, there's really, as much an art to this as a science, which I've always loved that concept, because when I think about the history of film, right, it's art and science together. I just wanted to hear you talk. I mean, I don't know if we're still kind of going or anything, guys, but I really wanted to hear more about that, where you figure out what's the line, or where the art and science come together or divide.
That's a great question, because there is really kind of like I don't want to say there's factions in the conservation group world, but there are kind of almost people who lean more on the science, who are actually like Professor Peter Alachi, for instance, and Dr. Paul Kosnick, where they're really actually getting into like color matching using spectrometers and using Photoshop, and then they're measuring out the exact precise amount of like leaf casting in order to like fill in a void and all that kind of thing. And then you have more of the Jerry the Jitterbug sort of world, where it's kind of like, look, I just kind of know how this looks, and I'm trying to feel it out, and there's and both combined. There's a place in the middle where they kind of overlap, and the science is kind of like, I'll see Professor Peter's video, and I'll be like, did you measure that out? I'm like, no, I kind of eyeballed it, and then I'll go over to Jerry's channel, and I'll see like, well, did you measure that out? Well, here a little bit, yeah. So it's just kind of a feeling to it, and I think that the science really is more integral when it comes to coming up with new techniques. So, for instance, Peter Alachi, Professor Peter, was able to kind of bring in evaporust to as an agent to take out rust from wraps and also from staples and things like that. Something that I think a lot of people wouldn't have thought about, but he did because he's familiar with the science, and so yeah, there's definitely an overlap.
It's like cooking almost, right? When we were talking about it, I'm thinking about chefs, how they're like, well, I don't know how much flour I put in. I
Precisely.
Felt it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Yep.
Yeah. I loved that today.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I will be right back. I got to let actual Chonko out. I just got to let Chonko out. I promise I'll be right back.
I got a question about a book.
Matt, you said you had something. You got or not Matt, but Adam. I'm sorry.
Steve had a question.
Oh, good, Steve.
Yeah. On 2 of my books in Captain America, this is Captain America 100. Is there much that can be done to bring the whites back on something like that?
Absolutely. So dry cleaning can help quite a bit as far as just using like pentel erasers and wipes and things like that, just to bring out the whites that way. But also, depending on the person that you send it to, really. But you can actually put it under blue light, which will kind of bring out the whites a little bit more if it's like a yellowing going on there. So yeah, you can definitely do something with that.
Yeah, and the other book in the same series is my Steranko,
great book.
which is
love that.
But it's a little worse than the 100.
Mm-hmm.
The paper at that time was just terrible.
Yeah.
The paper
so I would
was
stick
just
with
awful.
Because of that, I would stick with like a dry cleaning where someone can use makeup pads, and I think I have some, but yeah, these are like the conservationist slash cleaners, like we all go through all these as much as we can, but yeah, just to clean up the surface grime, and then going through with an eraser, and the more delicate the paper, the lighter touch that you want to have with the book.
Yes, I've already buffed these out with those makeup pad removers. But it just didn't take as much off as some of the other books that I had done that with.
Yeah, if you get a pentel eraser like this, it's I think it's made out of nylon or something like that. But basically, as long as you just are very light with it and you just kind of go over it. What I'd like to do is I have you can get these dry cleaning pads. They're like eraser pads, and you can just sprinkle. They actually have a bunch of like eraser bits inside of it, and you can kind of crunch it up over the comic, and then use it like a pentel eraser, and then kind of slowly work around all the whites. And if you look at Kenny Sanderson's Instagram channel, you'll see him doing that a lot with white covers.
Practice on a less expensive book, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I did have something. I wanted to make sure that Steven saw this, because I'm not sure if he is aware, but it ties into what you were talking about. And have you heard of the 442nd, Steven?
Yes, I have, and we have a memorial for them here in Portland. And I have very close friends whose relations were members of that unit, and I've read the stories about it, and it's the most incredible story you've ever seen.
Yeah. So
more medals, more decorations for them than anybody.
Right.
Wow.
So there's an artist out there named Tony Moy, and he has put together this 442nd. He put it out as a web comic, and that's kind of how it exists mostly right now. But he just released some of these earlier this year that he did print. And he's done so much research into the 442nd battalion, but his artwork is great. He does all watercolor,
nice,
beautiful,
all watercolor stuff. But he's interviewed families and members and things like that. And his plan is to put out, I think towards the end of the year, I think he's going to make this pretty readily available, where it'll be able to be.
That's one that I'll buy. I will definitely. The story was that after they had all the battles, they basically they could, nothing could happen, and they went in. Of course, they were in the European theater because they couldn't be in the Pacific, because the question would have been, is it a Japanese soldier dressed as an American? It was really terrible. So they were in Europe. And when all these other guys got squashed, they put the 443rd in and they went through. And the general came by to decorate all these guys because they had won umpteen medals in these actions. And here are these guys, they're just absolutely, just completely exhausted. He says, okay, everybody fall in. We're going to have the general's coming for medal presentation. So they fall in, and there's only about, 40 or 50 guys. And the general says, where's everybody else? And the commanding officer says, this is all that's left. This is all we have left. I mean, these guys were brave, and they had something to prove, and they wanted to prove it, and how strong Americans that they were. I mean, I swear that is one of the best, most interesting and tragic stories. I mean, heroism, amazing.
Yeah, and so when this comes, so he put out some of these like test kind of ash can things, and I got one from him, and I've kind of met him and talked to him. He's done some some commission work for me before. But then he also threw in a little sketch.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So Tony Moy, if you see him at a con or anything, he's got a ton to share about this. He's done like speaking tours a little bit about this. But if you go to just, I think it's Tony Moy, TonyMoy.art. You can get connected to him, and and he's great. He may have some more of these. He took these before he went to, I think it was Lake Como, is kind of where they debuted these. But yeah,
are you have you met him? I'm guessing by the remark.
Yeah,
is he local to you or?
Yeah, I mean, I could be in touch with him. He'd be a great guy to have.
I was just going to say we should have him on. I would love to talk to him. That sounds like super interesting stuff.
Yeah. Well, I hear he really liked Dr. Wortham too. That's what I heard.
We have a panel. We'll have a whole panel.
But I thought Stephen especially would want to know about this.
Absolutely.
So, thank you. I love it.
That.
By the way, I'm sorry. Before we move, JSS, is it possible to drop Up and Adam's link? Like, Up and Adam is criminally under subscribed. Like,
criminally.
Everybody, one of the nicest people in all the community, one of the great artists that we have, and he is very, very selfless and sharing his art with everyone. He's shared it with us. Everybody should please sub Up Adam.
He has great taste in clothing, also.
And he has such comic book knowledge.
The tips are coming.
Damn, I should have worn my shirt.
Yeah, I had a few things I picked up last week that I just got some real quick things. I got this Boris Orloff.
Oh, nice.
Cool,
like Yeti fighting over there. But we were talking about Conan earlier.
Yeah. Nice.
$2 for a Conan 13. I'll take that every day.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Shoot.
This one was a really cool Grimm's Ghost Stories cover.
Wow.
Yeah, it almost has a Mark Spears witch.
It does.
Or the Mark Spears took that witch.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, JSS. Thanks, Derek. Thanks for the Tony link. Thanks for Up and Adam's link. Thank you, guys.
And then I was Matt's not here anymore, but he'd be proud that I actually picked up a couple of Legion books.
He's in the chat.
He's in the chat.
He'll see that. He'll be proud.
He's in the chat still.
So I've never really gotten any Legion books, but I have this one and another one that I needed to finish up this 6-issue thing against Darkseid, and I wanted to get them all before I could read them. So picked those up to finish that little short run. Got a Man Thing here. So the volume 2. And then I'm a little late in the game, but I know a lot of people were talking about Silver Coin, and so I found a bunch of these for $1 or $2. But this is Chanko, you'd like to know this was the 1B cover, but it's Tula Lote.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So she did the 1B cover. So
I love Tula Lote.
Yeah, so I already had the A cover, but I was like, ooh, there's a B cover for $1.
There's no naked people on it. It's a Tula Lote with 0 naked people.
Yeah, I guess she had to like break into the industry before she did that.
Right.
Number 2.
Yeah, that one. Number 2.
I didn't get the whole run, but I got almost all of it. 4. And this is one of those things. Like I got the first issue, and I was like, but I gotta cut back on some stuff. So
now, is everybody I've heard really raves about it? Is it like an anthology or is it one story?
Can we hear more about that? It looks really interesting.
Yeah, it's
video game.
It's kind of they're one-off stories. Kind of like Ice Cream Man is kind of like but the big thing is there's a coin that sort of like the coin is kind of the interconnected piece of the story where different things are done with the coin. So like this one is, a coin getting put into the video game, and that kind of thing. So, but they're cool. Like but it's just something like a
cursed coin type thing. Yeah.
Now, is it the same coin? It just like passes along and that leads to the story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was that the monkey's paw? Is that story, the monkey's paw? I can't remember.
I think it is.
It's sort of like that. Yes.
Similar. Yeah.
It's a good little series. It's an older series, but it's pretty good.
They're coming out with a second volume later this year.
Do you know? Is there a collected is there like a trade paperback yet? Or
there are trades. From what I've been told, they're out of print.
Oh.
So I don't know
but you can find those things, Mike, in dollar bins, man, like crazy.
There's a really cool. This would make Wortham go crazy.
Oh wow!
Yeah, well, the motif of the eye was a big. That definitely has to be a reference.
Yeah.
To that.
Yeah.
Injury to the eye.
Yes, injury to the eye motif.
And then I picked up this Supergirl. This is the first of that costume.
Oh, okay, nice.
And then I picked up a little Lois Lane Lilliputian bondage cover. Is what.
Have you read the story?
I haven't read it. I just picked it up, but
it's. I won't spoil it for you. It is so of the age. I mean, you'll enjoy it.
That cover. On Biggie's stream last night. TM Nerdy challenged me to a competition where they do Biggie picks a category, and what the category was something the girl can't help it or something. And no, TM used that cover, and I used my Sveta Sabina, and everybody voted for that. And it's like normally I lost really badly. I he smoked me on the thing, but I was like, it's the only one that honked me, man. I was like, no.
Sorry about the PTSD.
Yeah, no, it got me. I was a little honked about that. The rest were fine, but that one bothered me.
Chaco, I just want to say happy August 2nd. Because my hillbilly neighbors out here are still shooting on fireworks.
Yes, it's the same here. I got to go outside with Chanko every time because if a firework goes off, the whole world collapses around him.
But I've been working on getting all the George Perez where he drew in Titans. So these were I got this one and another one, which is I think I only just need 2 more of the New Titans or Tales of Teen Titans.
The eyes have it.
And then just a really cool, it's a what if, but just a great Bill Sienkiewicz cover.
Oh yeah,
nice. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, great Loki cover.
Yeah.
So that's all I have.
Okay,
that's a lot.
Wow.
Hey, there's an one.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Now, Rich, did you end up sending yours off to get redone, or?
No, I haven't. They sent me the instructions on how to do it, and I don't know. I keep going back and forth. I'm scared. I'm scared to send it in because I got it signed by Roy Thomas, and I don't know. There's a bow in the book.
I would send it back. I mean, you don't want to leave it in that bent condition in the slab. I mean,
I know, but it's not hurting the spine. It's just on the open side of the book. You know what I mean? So it's like I should, but I'm
It'll
scared
still
to, man.
stress it. Yeah. I mean,
still
it's
stressing
your book,
me.
but
I know. I got to do it. I need to do it. I just keep,
The sooner you send it, the sooner you have it back.
yeah.
That's my part, Steve. And I'm so scared that that
I understand.
happen, you know what I mean?
Understand totally.
So I don't know. I need to.
I
really
bought
need
all
to.
these in the about 1991. A guy had the complete set,
Oh,
and
wow.
he had multiples of each book.
Those
And
look
in
like
the
they're in really
90s, it
great
was
shape.
not. What's that?
I said they look like they're in really great shape.
Yeah.
There was a guy that had a warehouse, comic warehouse, and he went in and he cleaned out all the Conans he had, and he said instead of buying a half a dozen Conans that were like VG Fine or whatever, he just bought one copy of number 1, which is the one that I have, which is a high grade. I don't know, it's a 9.4 or 9.6, one or the other. All of these are in the
I love
high
that
nines.
Medusa cover.
Wow, man.
This is Rich's wheelhouse.
Yeah, just will those to me, Stephen.
Well, I wanted to show these because you're a Conan fan, and I haven't shown these for a long time.
Those are nice. Yeah.
I'll trade you a sad, broken 1.0, 1.5.
Hey, your 1.0 is better than mine. I don't have any.
Yeah.
Like the early ones.
Yeah, I'd love
My
to.
number,
I might do a
my number
giveaway
9's
here.
got binder holes in it. When I bought it when I was a kid.
Well, I might do a
Okay.
giveaway here for my year anniversary thing, and that book might be in it. So if you guys want to speed 1.5 or something, we'll see.
Oh, I would take it, man. I would
Yeah,
take it, Jason, in a heartbeat, buddy. I display it proudly.
Wow, that's a cool one too.
Yeah,
That's
those are
cool.
nice.
Balance of
I'm 10 subscribers away from my next giveaway, or at least I was when we
nice.
started the stream. So
Oh,
at
cool.
5:55, I'm giving. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big giveaway. So.
How about that Suspiria poster, maybe? Or
I'm sorry.
Those are
that
gorgeous,
Suspiria
Steven.
poster, maybe? Or
No. It's there's gonna it's a choice of slabs. One is Spawn number 1 and a 9.8 slab. One is it's a choice. Bill Sienkiewicz signed Hulk versus Sentry number 1 9.8, and the last is a Gabriel Delato Absolute Batman number 3, the Virgin Delato variant signed by Gabriel Delato, and then there's going to be some Mark Spear stuff and some.
If I win, I want the horrific. I want that. I want the horrific.
We wanted one hand.
Gil Kane's work. I mean, Gil Kane's pencils and inks. I mean, when he does this stuff, his inking is just not. If the thing I like about Gil Kane with either the Atom or Green Lantern is that he had Murphy Anderson inking him, and Gil Kane could translate motion. Whereas, like, say, if you look at Hawkman and Murphy Anderson's art, it's like each picture is like a portrait. It's a set piece. Whereas Gil Kane there's movement happening. So when Murphy Anderson puts his inks onto Gil Kane's action pencils, and what have you, it's the best of both worlds to me, and that's why I love the Atom. I don't really collect the Green Lantern. I had to choose between Flash and Green Lantern. I chose Flash because I love Carmen Infantino's work. But I just look at this. I look at Gil Kane as opposed to Barry Windsor Smith. And I think that Barry Smith, that's how I knew him. He married a gal and then he hyphenated his name. And
is that true?
And he gave her the top billing because his was Barry Smith, and then he gave his wife top billing Windsor Smith.
Yeah.
Huh? I didn't.
I'm old school. I would say something, but I won't say that.
He's English, so is that for hierarchy or something?
English that he did. Huh? It's because he's English that he did that.
Well, I was wondering if that maybe for hierarchy reasons or something. I didn't know. I knew he's English.
Hierarchy. Hierarchy. Anarchy. I thought that was if you like more, I'll show more. I don't care.
I think Stevie had some stuff he wanted to show.
Oh yeah, I got a few books. Okay, the first thing I want to say is
Hey, Stevie, before you start, I just wanted to highlight something. Rich, could you show JSS is going to be on Fat Stacks? Could you just just wanted to make sure everybody saw that before we move to the next thing.
Cool.
August 16th. Heck yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely be watching that, John.
Yeah, everybody subscribe to Rob Fat Stacks. That he does a lot of great work for cancer charities and stuff. And
yes, he does.
Sorry, Stevie. I just wanted to make sure that got seen.
Problem. All right. I went and saw Superman today. I haven't been to the movies in about 3 years, and there I am by the poster.
How did you like it? How did you like it?
I liked it all. I liked everything about it except Lex Luthor. I thought first of all, he was too thin. Lex Luthor in my mind is always more bulky, in most representations in comic books. I love the special effects. The opening scene with the monster was great. The dogs did steal the show. I heard that. I avoided a whole bunch of everybody's chats for the last couple of weeks because
Stevie, they did put him in prison at the end of the movie, so maybe he'll bulk up in the next one.
Yeah, maybe. And was the alien with the kryptonite hand? Was that who was that?
That was
the Martian Manhunter, or
no? It was Metamorpho.
Metamorpho. See, I'm a Marvel guy, so I really like the movie.
Yeah.
And I did a drawing, and I finished it while you guys were talking. I have a drawing no one has ever seen before, and the image came from.
There you go, buddy.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Heroes Con book, the program from the con.
Yeah.
And I saw this drawing on one of the pages, and I didn't copy it exactly, but I used it for references and came up with this image.
Your style, Stevie, is getting more and more refined every time.
Oh yeah.
See, I draw every day for at least 2 hours every day because I know what it took to get good on trumpet, and I'm just approaching it in the same way. Discipline yourself to do it.
Now, has that book been helpful at all? The Marvel, or is it just doesn't help?
Oh yeah, it's food for thought when you look at that book, and as you read it, also they tell you explore your own ideas.
Right.
These are just the starting point, and when you look at the title, you think it's everything must be done this way. But it's
just
not at all like
the basics. Yeah, it just breaks down the basics for you pretty good. The book does.
Yeah, and that and looking at a lot of comic books. See, I've always been attracted to the art. Like I've said on another live stream, I don't sit there and read a paragraph over and over, but I can look at one panel for 5 or 10 minutes just looking at it, admiring it, studying it, just wondering how long that person it took them to get that talented, because the people that do these comic books are phenomenal artists, and we're lucky, that it's in our hobby. We get to there's the literature part of it, the stories, which some of them are fantastic, and then there's the art and nostalgia, and there's so many things that pull you into the hobby. Now, the comic books I have a whole bunch of True Believers, which were comic books. Here's the first one, The Death of Phoenix. I watched the video this guy did talking about these. All these sold for $1.
Wow, I like that cover.
They're reproductions of great covers. And I pulled out, here's The Marriage with Scott.
Yeah, Gene.
Gentlemen, I must run. I wanted to I apologize, Stevie, for breaking it, but Steve, Mike, Rich, Adam, Bobby, and Jason, it is a pleasure and a privilege. A privilege. It's a privilege.
It's a privilege
on our part here. It's been a pleasure. And Bobby, I want to thank you very much for confirming what people have called question when I would say about the scientific method of Dr. Wortham. I appreciate getting it from the source on that. Thank you very much. But gentlemen, I'll be watching from afar. Thank you very much. See you guys all again. So see you on the interwebs.
Thanks again for the lunchbox. I'm going to get your package out. I travel tomorrow, so it might be after I get back, but I promise you're going to get cool stuff.
No worries at all. Yeah. See you, gentlemen.
Bye,
Take care, Steve. Okay. Here's a cool Wolverine cover.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Stevie, I'm glad you're showing those because I was wondering. I haven't really looked at too many of those True Believers, but are they just like facts? Are they like facsimiles? They're
just like a reprint,
everything too, or no?
Yes.
Yes, they are facsimiles of the book, except for in the trade dressing, and it'll have that across the top.
Okay.
Right.
And the guy that did the video said that when these things were coming out, people tried to scam other people saying it was the book.
Yeah.
There's always a bad apple, But here's a spooky. Somebody's got a blog just as spooky as Wolverines.
I have that.
Oh yeah.
I think they had just modern ads in it.
Right.
You're asking, like, I don't think it's a true facsimile.
Oh, it's not a true facsimile then.
Not a true one. No, I guess untrue.
Just a reprint.
Yeah,
it's basically just a reprint.
But there are facsimiles that Marvel kind of dropped this line. I guess they didn't want to sell books for $1 anymore.
Yeah.
So and DC had their own dollar comics that they put.
Yes, I remember those.
But now they're doing a lot more of just the true facsimiles and also reprinting the ads and a lot of things. So they're usually taking key issues and things like that and redoing them.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about. I hadn't known much about like grading comics and until like a couple of years ago when I started watching people on here. I mean, although I've been reading comics since I was a little kid. For me, Jason, I liked hearing your entry report. When I think about my beginning of comics, Archie's Digest, man. Like my mom would bring that home to me all the time. Like that's like what I really
cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's entry point. Yeah,
Archie Digest. But I've been seeing so if I'm looking at comics online, I'm seeing a lot of these facsimiles, even older ones that are graded really high, but they're posted for big prices. Like is that a scarcity thing or is that not legit? Like what's the deal?
They're limiting the print runs. So a lot of these they'll limit it to like 250 copies or 500 copies. So yeah, they're creating this artificial scarcity and so that it's controversial. And when in a lot of these things, when they create this artificial scarcity and they know there's going to be this demand, this drives up the prices. Some people are very opposed to this, but it is a creation of the artificial scarcity.
Okay. So but it is a low print run. They are these, but it's a created thing. And are people buying these? Do you know, like on eBay? Like
I'll buy them. Like I won't buy them on eBay, like the facsimile editions, but I'll buy them like when they drop. Like if I see them, like occasionally, like
right, but not like slab graded ones that are
not for those. I'll sell those. I will sell those.
I like the way you think.
Sorry, Mike from Casino.
True Believers just reminded me of that.
Here's one that I'm going to try to draw. I think I just love her expression.
Yeah.
Mr. Aiken's John Byrne.
Yep. And I got some Venoms here that are pretty good. See, I wouldn't collect all these books. I wouldn't go after them, but they were a gift from my friend David. He sent them to me. But the covers.
David, Garage Geek, David, or
yeah. He's a buddy.
Yep.
And,
I watch his channel. He cracks me up, that guy. I watch his channel all the time.
He just got a Chonko shirt. He's the most recent recipient of a Chonko shirt.
That's just a buddy. He's a buddy.
Oh yeah, he was wearing his Chonko shirt like a couple videos ago.
I'm always happy. I'm always happy to see when people are rocking the colors.
Yeah, me too, man. Rocking the swag.
I got a bunch of them.
Uh-oh.
I like this one.
Oh, yeah.
Did you clear them out, Stevie?
Yeah, they did a good
Here's
job.
Here's one that Nate is showing this book, I think.
That many.
Yeah, Magic.
Yeah, it's Magic #1.
That's a really good limited series, actually.
Yeah, the one thing that's really annoying to me is in CLZ, because I put all my comics in CLZ, is every single one has its own separate line. So it's called like True Believers, Maximum Carnage, Spider-Man Unlimited #1. And I'm like,
listed under just True Believers. Yeah.
Like, it's cool.
Oh yeah, and they're all #1. They're all, like a one shot. I'm almost through with those. Here's one. I have the original book of this. I have.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Right. It's a part of the King in Black storyline.
Yes. And here's an Avengers.
Cool.
So
now,
what do we all think? Do we think Null's going to be making an appearance? Oh, hey, that's first Thunderbolts. Hey, nice.
Yeah, first Thunderbolts. Yeah.
I had that book, but I got rid of all my Avengers and that type of book about three or so years ago, downsizing because we moved into a smaller place.
Hey, yeah, first Jane Foster, Thor.
Yeah, I thought these would be interesting to spark conversations with people that knows the books. I had all of these Young Avengers too. I wish I would have kept them, but hindsight's 2020, right?
Right.
But
these are you can replace these like any modern book. It's like if you really want it, you can get it again.
Yeah, they're attainable.
But like, don't ever sell your golden age.
I remember reading it.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. And here's another one.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Celestial Quest.
Yeah, I had all of those. I have this one still in the original. I bought it off the rack.
Is that a J. Scott Campbell cover?
Grayson, Jones, and Kemp are the creators on the cover.
It might be Greg Land did some.
Oh, okay.
It didn't look like Greg.
I could be wrong with that.
Let me open it up and I'll tell you. It's the primary cover. It's so whoever the cover artist is. It's super fine print. It would be.
That's all right.
Well, that's why I have my
I mean, look how small that print is.
Yeah,
we'll never be able to read it.
J.G. Jones.
J.G. Jones. I saw.
Is it? Oh, cool.
J.G. Jones.
And I have a Nova. I don't know. It was just stuck in with those, but I'll show it. And
Nova's going to make his way into the MCU. They keep saying.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, and my last thing I wanted to show is my press pass from Heroes Con.
Oh, nice.
It was a gift from Rich.
Right on.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I was lucky. I had a few gifts from that time, and I didn't even leave the rocking chair. It was great.
I
had a few more things to show, Rich. Just very quickly.
Let me show one more thing here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just wanted to show you. I love Maria Wolf.
Oh yeah.
So she did the cover on it. She didn't do this Dread the Hall.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Maria Wolf.
Yeah.
Wow.
This just came out. This is a new series or something's coming out. But
Have you
It's
read that?
divergent from what she normally does, isn't it? It's a little different than her normal work.
Well, here's the Virgin. I had to pick the Virgin.
Oh yeah, see that's more like wild psychedelic kind of.
Yeah, like a blue light or black light.
Yeah, I love that.
Have you read that yet, Rich?
I for the most part about 3/4 of the way. Yeah, it's kind of an odd. It's takes place at like a comic book convention, and it has like 4 or 5 different short stories in it. Is the premise of it. So, but yeah, it's not too bad. But I mainly got it because of the Maria Wolf. My LCS guy, he knows I love Maria Wolf, so he's like, "Hey, I got these," and I was like, "Oh, you
that psychedelic cover is amazing."
Yeah. He knows how to get me.
So just a handful of things. This is Steven's book, if you haven't seen it. So Steven Steppo, who just left, this is the story of his grandfather.
Yeah, he was gracious enough to send me one finally too.
Yeah, really, really cool. It was available on Amazon. I'm not sure if it still is, but
it's not. It's not. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought I saw it there. Okay.
You can see it on there, but it just says not available or something like that. You can look it up.
If you're a buddy, he might have copies. I don't want to say. Yeah, I don't want to say for sure.
I had to hit him. I had to hit him up because I was going to buy one on Amazon, and I was like,
same.
So one of the other things I'm going to send to Stephen is this is Diabolique number 24.
Spears.
First, this is the very first. This is the first Mark Spears cover that he ever did. It's also inside the back cover is the first advertisement for the Mark Spears Monsters cards. So before the series, he did the cards. So it's a double key for Mark Spears if you like Mark Spears. So
are you a fan of Jodorowsky, Bobby?
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Just a few more things, I promise. But I just got this. I got it off of Comic Link for very, very inexpensive. But it's Black Magic 22 from 1953. Nice. Simon and Kirby, Simon's story, Kirby art. And they reprinted these in the 70s. A lot of these Black Magics, but
sweet, man.
It's kind of cool. It's like the guy, the detective, is coming in and he's saying there's something unnatural about the people in this strange old town. They play too hard, as if they're jamming 100 years of living into 24 hours. And then the female ghost is pulling him in. She's saying, that you have not read the legend. Come be one of us and never die. And they're all like partying and drinking, trying to drag him in, to the thing. Time. And then I got this off Comic Link too. So there are 4 issues of this comic called The Prez from the 70s, where it's the first teenage president is elected. But on Comic Link, they had these, and people weren't bidding on them. So I got number 1 for like $50, and like all the other ones for like $30. But these are special because these are all part of the Don Rosa pedigree. These are Don Rosa's personal copies. So Don Rosa, the great artist from Donald Duck, Scrooge McDuck, like maybe the second most famous from the Donald Duck after the great Carl Barks. So these were really, really cool to be able to get. And then the last thing I got was this old Daredevil Comics number 55 from 1949 in a 9.0, and this is the Ohio pedigree, and this is top census. So this is the highest graded copy of this Daredevil from 1949.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's great to have something that's that high on the grade, man. On any kind of golden age, to think that something like that has survived in that condition for that long is amazing.
Yeah,
and get it as a pedigree. I mean, that one I paid a little up for, but I paid like $230 for it. But it's like 1949, top of census, and Ohio pedigree. I was like, yeah. I mean, I think I was only bidding against one other person on it. It's like right at what fair market value is, but not really considering the pedigree, I guess. I don't know. But I was really happy.
Daredevil in it because shortly thereafter he left the book. So
right, they're phasing him out already at this point. Like he's like way back here.
Challenging back to that Prez, the Prez book, I've sort of had a bit of a minor fascination, and I have a prediction I'm going to make about so I'm a huge, like, as far as contemporary comics go, Tom King is like top tier writer in my opinion, and I just have this gut feeling like Tom King is going to do something with the Prez. Like, I don't know.
Really?
I just have this gut feeling, so I'm putting it out here now. If it happens,
they did try to bring Prez back. Like there's like it's like in the early 2000s, but it's like really like it's not the same at all. And
if I see dollar books all the time.
I remember thinking like Vertigo could have done something cool with that, like back in the day. But I just have this feeling Tom King is going to do something with that because he's resurrected some interesting things. So I just wanted to put it out there. I've been wanting to get that out there for a long time.
Or wouldn't it be cool if it like made its way to the DCU somehow? Like,
yeah, right.
Silly, they elect a teenage president, which is already absurd. Like especially now. Can you imagine a teenager now being president? I mean, good gravy, we would be in trouble.
I have teenagers. Well, they're just recently non-teenagers, but so yes, I can confirm that.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, right. Because he did that Danger Street, right? And as soon as when I read that Danger Street series, I was like, yo, he's gonna do something. I thought maybe he might bring it into there or something, but he didn't. That's what sort of gave me the idea. I don't know if anybody read that. Did anybody read that series?
No. I know what you're talking about, but I didn't read it. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, like I said, I'll read anything by King. He's just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe does anybody have anything to announce? Or
I was gonna say we're getting ready to call it. I think it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's about our limit. We usually go about 2.5 to 3. Sometimes we'll go over 3, but yeah, we try to limit it a little bit. So if anybody's got anything they want to promote, we'll go around the chamber here and put it out there. And I got anything? Adam,
hello.
I'm going to try to work on hopefully this week get a first video out about Bronze Age Marvel horror stuff. So that's something I'm working on. Posting some of the, just the collections through a lot of the different series, show off some books, but just kind of talk about, what's special about each one. So that's something I'm working on.
All right, Bobby.
I'll jump in. So and my wife chides me for this, but I spend too much time making my videos, I think. So I really can only put one out every month if I really want to. If I want it, for it to be the way I want it to be. So for this series anyway, it'll change. I think I'm going to do this series for a year that I've been doing. So I put out something every month, and the book the video I'm working on this month, which actually was supposed to be, or for next month, or no, for this month. Yeah, we're in August. It was supposed to be last month's book, but then I pivoted because I wanted to do something about Fantastic Four, which I did like in the movies. I know we talked about Superman, but my next video that will be out this month will be about Thunderbolt.
Cool.
And he's sort of I think an underused character that they've tried to resurrect a couple of times. Peter Cannon Thunderbolt, I should have specified. So I'm going to talk about that. Obviously, all of the connections to Watchmen and talk about modern comics and Charlton and that relationship of the reprinting and stuff, which is how I've gotten a number of those. So that's going to be my next video.
Awesome.
Which I'll be both starring as Rorschach and Thunderbolt in his original costume, mind you. So that's going to be very, very embarrassing, as you'll see, for that video.
Yeah,
very
cool. Right. Jason, yeah.
Just working on this exciting comic and seeing if I can kind of keep it together without it falling apart. I know I have. Looks like I'll be doing a live with Nate eventually here, and maybe also with Matt. And
Yeah.
And anyone else who wants to hang out, of course, and hopefully maybe we'll do something with Bobby here. So we'll see.
Yeah,
that'll be cool.
Yeah, man, that'd be sweet. Chaco.
So just a couple things. August 14th, I'm going to be on the 1011 with Gary B, the casual comic guy, showing, I guess, 12 books on there.
Yeah, that's a fun show, man. Fun show.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
I've done it in the past. It's a really fun show.
Great.
Well, anytime someone asks, I try to do. And then I'm going to be on with Matt in September. We just talked about it today. Let me just find it. I'm going to be on with Matt on September 16th. And then just to promote a few things for the show here with Rich and I next Saturday. We're going to have Nate and Hagen on. So maybe we'll try to do something fun since we're having both of those guys on. That'll be kind of fun.
I was wanting to. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was when I was booking them. When I asked them, they were like, both at the same time. I went, yeah. I want you guys both at the same time. And Nate's like, oh, it sounds like our wedding night. But I mean, they're not married, but
right.
You would think they are because they're just good friends. But yeah. But anyway, go ahead, Chanko. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll talk maybe a little bit. There might be room to do something. I don't know. Maybe we could figure out a trivia game or a comic game or something to do because we've known those guys for quite some time and I think everybody's familiar with them. They're very funny guys and so that might be kind of we'll figure something out fun and then the week after that we're having the great and powerful Brian McClay on from Beyond Wednesdays. We'll be on for an interview, and if you're like I always say, if you're not subscribed and watching Alan Comic Collector Geek on Mondays and the Beyond Wednesdays guys, you're missing out on a ton of information and a ton of fun stuff. And then the other reminder is I think it might be over already, but I thought it was just through the end of the day that the comic the awards. Is it over? Okay, well. It's too late now, but yeah, kind of watch the comic community awards and see who gets nominated, and we'll try to push our friends, the ones that get into the final nominations here.
One thing I wanted to add to the list of future guests, of course, Bobby's going to be making an appearance, eventually here soon, and but Lunch Money, Mike from Lunch Money Comics.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yeah, he said he would do it towards the end of August, so might work out pretty good to get him at the end of August there, since we'll have an opening sometime. But
that's breaking news. That's huge. He's like, I think he's an inspiration for all of us, right? I mean, we all.
Yeah, he just crushed the 20,000 subs, and so it's pretty sweet. So,
I love Mike. I've never talked to him, but I love his stuff.
I talked to him briefly at Heroes Con in the hotel, as I was coming back to the hotel, and I always felt bad that I didn't talk to him longer because I was trying to get in. I was in a hurry to get back to my room, and we were just kind of talking. But he's a really nice guy, so I'm looking forward to that one.
The thing about Mike too, I mean, he's such a great dude on his show, and does such. And he's friends of friends. I know he's friends with our friends, but I mean, it's like a lot of people have really copied his style. Like he had this kind of like thing that he kind of, created, and a lot of people are doing like they just are doing. That'll be an interesting question to ask him. I'm sure he's such a nice guy. He doesn't care, but how do you feel about like people just kind of adopting what you kind of pioneered?
A good guy. Yeah, he's a good guideline for sure. Yeah. But with that,
well, Big Nancy, I got to ask one more question. I'm sorry, I don't really. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Who, mine?
Rich.
Big Nasty.
Yeah. Is that a Cliff Burton action figure on your wall?
Yes, it is.
I thought so.
That's a gift from Chaco.
Oh,
he gifted that to me a while back, so I was like, hell yeah! When he sent me that, because he was sending me some books. He sent me a book to review, which I am still working on it, Mike. I haven't.
You're never going to finish that book. You hate it. I can tell you hate it.
No, I don't hate it, man. I just I I set it over there, and then I start reading some other stuff. So, but I am going to do a review on it eventually.
I did send it to Dave, and he said he's going to finish. He'll probably finish his review before yours.
But with that, yeah, he sent me that Cliff Burton, man. I was just like, that is
my
awesome,
first
dude.
concert I ever saw Metallica.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! With Cliff or
no, unfortunately not.
Hey, Bobby, that beats the shit out of mine. I seen David Lee Roth right after he spoke with Van Halen.
Mine is so much worse.
Show, I'm sure, though, man.
Mine is worse than all yours. I promise you. My first live concert, my first girlfriend dragged me to the Holiday Star Theater to see New Edition. New Edition is my first concert on record.
As a really young kid, I can't argue with that. I can't say I didn't pop some New Edition, on the radio.
T-shirt, Mike.
It's middle, yes, middle school.
Like pre-cocaine Bobby Brown.
Yeah, that was
right. Yes. Cool it now.
Actually, something kind of interesting. My first concert that I went to was Chuck Mangione, who just passed away.
Oh yeah, just passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, kind of weird. But then my second one was Pink Floyd. So.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Well, now Jason, you have to go first concert.
I don't know. Probably I don't know, 9 Inch Nails or something like that.
Oh wow, well that's better.
You're huge music.
Shit. Beat that, man. But I'd like to say thanks to everybody in the chats.
Thank you.
To,
Thank you so much for the show. This was awesome. I really
yeah, it was fun. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
This has been a great show, man. Very good show. Awesome. One of the top tier ones we've done so far, I feel. But on the other ones, I think the other ones were good too. But this has been a really good, interesting show. Looking forward.
When we end the stream, guys, we'll just go backstage for a couple of minutes.
Just hang out for a second, guys. I want to thank everybody in the chats for coming out. JSS Brooklyn and the rest of them. Sorry, Stevie, he said his phone died, but thanks for coming and hanging out, man, like always. And thanks for the one-of-a-kind artwork you're always doing and passing around. But with that, I want to say thanks to everybody that tuned in, and thanks to everybody that's watching this on the rewind. I always appreciate it. So with that, I'm going to say adios.
Good night.